And I think we are live. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. Let us know if you can hear us and see us okay. Make sure I've got the microphones and the cameras turned on. Adrian's joining me tonight.
Hello.
Pete's here as well.
Hello.
We're going to be doing a tutorial and playthrough of Galactic Cruise. This is coming to Kickstarter on the 4th of March. And tonight, very honoured and privileged to bring you the worldwide first exclusive tutorial and playthrough video for the game. Now, a few caveats before we start. This is not the finished version of the game because it's not gone on Kickstarter yet. The game is not actually out yet. I believe that they are hoping to deliver by the end of the year. If everything goes to plan, then it will be delivered sometime November, December this year. But normally when I do videos like this of prototypes, I have to say, first of all, this is not the final version of the game. Make sure you check out the Kickstarter page for what the final version is going to look like. But I can tell you now that this is pretty much exactly what it's going to look like. Also, the other caveat is we're playing with the rules as they are at the moment. And normally with games like this, they are subject to change. This one is very unlikely to change. I have been told that the game is now absolutely finished. There is nothing that's going to change in it. But just in case, yeah. Now, we're doing this video tonight using the introductory version of the game. You can play this game on Tabletop Simulator. There is going to be a TTS module for the game, and it is going to include the introductory version of the game. I will explain to you at the end of this video the changes that you're going to make if you don't want to play the introductory game, which you can't do. If you're playing on Tabletop Simulator, it's going to be hard-coded in there. But I will let you know at the end of this video what differences there are. We're also playing not just the suggested setup for your first game, but we're also playing with a slightly shorter timer. So you'll notice these grey cubes in here. This is basically the timer. I'll explain it more later on. But we're going to be playing a slightly shorter version of the game, which is great to get a feel of how the game plays. But having now played the full game a couple of times, yeah, I feel that I've accomplished more. So you may feel after watching this video, oh, we didn't do very much. We only launched 2 ships. That's because we're playing a slightly shorter version of the game. Right, so without further ado, let's crack on. Now, I'm going to do a sort of 75% teach at the start. There are certain rules of the game which you really don't need to know until it happens, but I will cover them briefly at the start so that you know what it's about, and then I'll cover them in more detail when we get on. Pete has played before. You played a game with me just after I'd learned how to play.
Yep.
Adrian hasn't played before. And I think most of the people watching may have played before, may not have played before, but we'll see. So Galactic Cruise, we are all working for a company. It's in the future. Cruises are a thing. We can go on a cruise in space. And our job is to basically schedule these cruises, advertise, sell tickets, build the shuttles, launch the shuttles, put on great entertainment for people, and make money and victory points and reputation by doing so. It will be the player with the most victory points, which is tracked around the outside of the board, that wins. We start with 5 victory points, but there are other resources as well. You have money, you have advertising, you have reputation on here. You've got all sorts of different things going on. The 3 resources that you need for your launch is food, because you're going to have to feed the people when they're in space, oxygen, because people need that apparently. And what I thought was vampires. It's not vampires, it's fuel. You're going to need fuel to power the spaceship. We've done the setup for you, so I won't go into the full details about that. But these 12 action tiles here, if I just zoom in on the main board, these 12 action tiles, this is the suggested layout for your first game. What you would normally do is you would shuffle these and put them all over the place for the full game. Now, with the suggested setup, it means actions that are linked are together, which means you can go to a particular location and you can do the actions in that section. In the full game, that might be over there.
Yeah. Right.
And it just makes it a lot more varied and a lot more interesting. But anyway, we've got this. This is the main action area of the board. We have chosen a company goal. Again, we're using the one that is recommended for your first game, but there are various ones available. We are using expert tile number 1. Again, more options are available. 4 technologies up the top. More options are available. They are the 4 that we're using. But that is the variability in the setup. Right, let's explain how the game actually works. So what's going to happen is once we've decided on a start player, and let's do that now actually. So start player is green. Pete, you're the start player. So this never changes. That is the first player marker. Pete will be the first player for the whole game. What's going to happen, the structure of the game is that Pete's going to take a turn. And then when he's finished with his turn, you'll take a turn, and then I'll take a turn, and we will keep taking turns until the end of the game is triggered. Now, various things in the game, well, two different things in the game will get you to add a cube to this progress track. So this progress track starts here with 1, then it goes up to 2, then it goes up to 3. These are the tiles for a 3-player game. We just have a look on the back, 3-player game. If we were playing with more players, there would be more spaces. And because we're playing the short game, we've got a grey cube in each, which means basically we only need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cubes in total, and the end of the game is triggered. So every time you launch a spaceship, a cube goes in here. And also when you complete one of the company goals, which I'm just going to drag this down a bit. So there's company goals here. Whenever you complete this company goal, for example, you will move your cube up to the progress track.
Right, okay.
At the end of anybody's turn, when this is complete, so not at the end of the round or anything like that, at the end of that player's turn, there is an AGM. All games should have AGMs. And we're going to score points based on how many cubes you've got in this area, how many of these medals you've revealed, and your reputation, right? Then we start filling progress area number 2. Once progress area number 2 is filled, we have another AGM at the end of that turn. And then we move up to 3. When we do 3, when this area is filled, we finish that round. We then play one slightly different final turn. And then one special thing happens, which I'll explain later, and then we do final scoring. But this is essentially the timer in the game. So just as a reminder, cubes go on here once when you launch a ship and once when you complete a company goal. And we're going to be launching probably 2 ships each in this short version of the game, maybe 3. In the full version, you'd be looking to do at least 3, probably 4. So that's the timer on the game. Right, now the game is going to come with an employee handbook, which is basically a player reference booklet, which is very useful. It's got a summary of all of the different actions that you can take. It has how do you score points, because that can be quite useful. There's points that you can score during the game, and there is also end of game scoring as well. So just a quick note on the iconography. Anytime you see the like the planet symbol in brown, that is immediate points. Anytime you see the same symbol but in like a dark purpley colour, that's end of game scoring. So that's the 2 ways you can score points. The back of this is the turn structure. So what happens is on your turn, the first thing you do is if you have a shuttle in space, you advance that shuttle and lots of stuff happens. That's the bit of the game that I'm not going to explain in a lot of detail because we're not going to be launching a shuttle for about an hour. Something like that, okay? So when we do launch a shuttle, I will go through that. But importantly, that happens at the start of your turn. It doesn't cost you an action.
Right.
So if you have a shuttle in space, it advances. If you have 2 shuttles in space, they both advance. Then your turn consists of one of 3 options. You either take one of your workers from your break room and you place it in one of the 6 action spaces on the main game board, and you then perform actions. If the space that you want to use is already occupied, you kick that person out. You cannot kick yourself out. Alternatively, instead of doing that, if you have a shuttle all ready for launch, and you've got the food, and you've got the oxygen, and you've got the fuel, then you can take a worker from your break room, and you can put it on the bottom of the gantry, and we start the T -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. It's basically a step-by-step process that you need to do before you launch. That is an action. So you either place your worker onto the board and do actions, or you take your worker and you put it on there and you launch. Your third option is that you call a meeting. You must call a meeting if you have no workers in your break room, but you could call a meeting early even if you've got one of them out and still one there. We'll go into that more later on, but there are reasons why you might want to call an early meeting. Then, after you've done one of those 3 things, You then check the company goal. Have you met the criteria for the company goal? If you have, you move your cube up and you advance the little triangle. But that is an end of turn thing. Any questions so far?
So far, so good.
Right. Okay. And again, it's all explained on here. So we're going to mention the advanced shuttles later on. Let's talk about the assigned worker. And just before we dive in, I did want to mention we haven't finished the setup yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the majority of the rules of the game. Then we are going to finish the setup because that relies on a player decision. And then we'll start playing. So the main thing you're going to do in the game is you are going to take one of your workers and you're going to place it on one of these 6 action spaces. And then you are going to perform 2 actions. Now, there are 2 actions available in each of these areas that you go to. You can do one of each. You can do the same action twice.
Okay.
If you wanted to. You get to do 2 actions from those available to you. However, if you have a development marker on an adjacent area, then that means that these become available as well. So now, by going there,
right,
I can do 2 of these 4 actions, which could be 2 of the same.
And if it was over this side, you
and
could
if
do
it was
these.
over that side, I could now do all of these.
Fine.
Right? But importantly, that does not allow me to do that. So it's only 2 adjacent ones. Right?
Makes sense.
Now, what happens if somebody else had a development marker there? I can borrow theirs. But to do that, we just need to have a look at the reputation track. So this is the reputation track. We all actually started on 0, but Pete, you're the start player, so you stay on 0. Adrian, you're next, so you go on 1, and I go on 2. Right? So on the reputation track, this is a cost to use somebody else's development marker. So at the moment, you can pay 2 money to that player to borrow the use of their development marker for the turn. As your reputation increases, the cost goes down for you.
Okay.
So you pay less money. Once your reputation hits here, you don't have to pay anybody any money.
Okay.
So reputation can be useful. Now, what happens if, Adrian, you wanted to go there?
No, not that one. That one.
Yeah. And you wanted to do one of these actions? You'd have to pay both of us.
Oh, that's me.
It gets really expensive. So in this particular situation, you would have to pay Pete 2 money and me 2 money as well, which means you probably wouldn't do the action.
Yeah, not doing that then.
You're
Okay.
nice to me.
The way you get around doing that is you put your own development marker in here,
Makes sense.
and then all of a sudden you can use it for free. So you place your worker on there, and you get to do 2 actions, which could be the same action twice. Any questions about that bit and how that works? We'll go into the actions probably in a bit more detail now, I think. Yeah, I think let's go through the different actions. And I'm going to explain these in a semi-logical order. So one of the things that I've mentioned is you need to schedule a flight. You cannot launch a shuttle unless you have scheduled a flight. That is this action here. So this action is schedule a flight. And if we just have a look at, if I can press the right button, it's here. It's this area of the board here. So we each have one of these. I can't remember what they're called, but I call them travel agents. So we've each got a travel agent. And even though you can do 2 actions the same, this action you can only do once until you have then launched that flight.
Okay.
Okay, so what you do is you choose one of the 5 flights, any of them, and you put your travel agent on the particular space. And you've said, I am scheduling that flight. That is now your flight. Nobody can take that from you, and you can't change your mind.
Okay.
Right? But you can do that even if it doesn't currently have any tickets sold or anything else. So later on in the game, somebody might, for example, decide to sell 2 tickets for that flight, even though it hasn't been scheduled yet. You can do that, and we'll come on to that in a minute, which means I might go, well, I'll tell you what, I'll schedule that flight because it's already got passengers waiting for it. But you basically pick any one of these 5. It would be 6 if we were playing a 4-player game, and if we were playing a 2-player game, that would be blocked out as well. It would only be 4. Quick note, these have got a star on the back. That's because we're playing the introductory game. In the introductory game, these 3 are nice, easy, simple cruises. The rest were chosen at random. When you start playing the full game, you just mix them all up and pick 5.
Right. Okay.
And you might have really difficult ones to start with. But anyway, you do that. You schedule everything. Now, the iconography on there, that icon means you get to activate one of your scaffolding tiles, is what I'm calling them. They're not called that. And then you flip it over. So, if you have a look on your player board, on the left-hand side of your player board, somebody will tell me in the chat what they're actually called, or it might be in here. No. Anyway, you've got 8 of these tiles on the left-hand side. You've got 4 brown ones, and you've got 4 grey ones. Now, the 4 brown ones are in a fixed position. The 4 grey ones, it doesn't matter where they are. And the reason why these are in a fixed position is if you take one of them off, underneath it, you see an improved version of the tile itself. So as you remove these tiles, you're going to get extra additional improved bonuses during the course of the game. Anyway, when you schedule a flight, you immediately get the reward shown on the tile, and then you flip it over. So this is 1 money, this is 1 advertising, this is 1 point, this is any 1 resource, which is either food, oxygen, or fuel. The grey ones, you'll notice, are much, much better. The immediate reward for the grey ones is a lot higher, but there are advantages to removing the brown ones because they give you improved funding bonuses. They will explain later on. But let's say I decide to schedule that flight. I want this one. I just gain 4 money.
Okay.
So what I do is I gain 4 money and I flip that over. Okay? Now, what's going to happen is when I launch my ship, that tile is going to be removed from there and placed onto my ship. And we'll explain more about that and how that works later on. But you flip the tile when you schedule a flight, and then the tile is placed on your ship when you launch the flight. Right, okay, so that's that action. Any questions about that one?
Don't think so.
Okay, let's cover this one then. This is pre-selling tickets for one of the cruises. So if we go back to the cruises, you can choose any one of the cruises. It could be yours, it could be somebody else's, or it could just be a cruise that doesn't currently have a travel agent on it. So literally any one of the cruises, and then you can pre-sell 1 or 2 tickets to that cruise.
I think he's called a cruise consultant.
Cruise consultant, is that what it's called? Travel agent sounds better. So going through this example, I could say, well, hang on a minute. There's some orange people here. Orange people are adventure seekers, right?
Okay.
They want to go and do adventure-y type of stuff. The teal-coloured ones are families,
Yeah.
and the blue ones just like to chillax. So I could say, well, there's a flight here. This is a destination. It's an adventure location, and there's 2 groups of people down here who want to go on adventure cruises.
Yeah.
So what I can do is I can pre-sell them tickets like this. You don't have to match.
Okay.
You do not have to colour match. You generally want to because you're going to get more bonuses if you do, but you don't have to. Now, pre-selling these tickets costs you advertising. It costs you 1 ad for anybody from this section, 2 for anybody from this section, and 3 for anybody from this section.
But these guys can go on this.
Yes. Yeah. These are not related to these. These are not related to these, and this is not this is just a queue. If the guest that you want is not there, you can pay 4 ads to take them from the supply.
Okay.
Right. Now, for each guest that you pre-sell a ticket to, you gain 1 money per destination. Doesn't matter what the destination is. But then, if there is a destination that matches, you gain a reputation.
And this is 2 destinations?
No, that is a day in space,
Right,
and
okay.
that is a destination.
Fine.
So in this case, if I pre-sell that one to there, I get 1 money because there's 1 destination, and I gain a rep because it is a destination that matches this person. I could then also sell that. Now I would get another 1 money and another 1 reputation. So there is an advantage to matching, but you don't have to. If I really wanted to, I could put those 2 on there, and I would get 1 money for each, but I wouldn't get the rep because they're families. And they're like, we don't want to go on an adventure cruise. We want to do family stuff. The position of these, by the way, I won't go into detail about how they are placed there, but it's all based on what was visible
Right.
during
Okay.
setup. Any questions about pre-selling tickets?
Don't think so. No.
Okay, what I will mention is that pre-selling tickets is not a requirement for launching. There is a last-minute sale.
Okay.
So you could launch even if you've got your cruise consultant on here and there's nobody there.
Okay.
You do a late sell and you basically do the same process. You spend the ads, you get the people, but you don't get this bonus.
Okay.
Right, that's those two actions covered. So let's talk about building shuttles.
Mm.
So each of us starts the game with a cockpit and an engine. These have got little stars on them because they are the starting ones. And on the bottom of the engine, you'll see it says 10 money, 2 ads, 1 agenda card, and then reputation based on your starting position.
Right. Okay.
That is just a summary of what you start the game with, and then you flip it over.
Fine.
So that is that. Now, a shuttle can't launch like that, even though it's got a cockpit. It's got to have at least 2 segments in the middle. And if we just have a look over at segments, these are the 5 currently available. We're all going to start the game with one of these. But what happens is you're going to take them from here, and then they are blueprints, and then with a different action, you're going to construct them. So the action that you use to take them is this one. This is simply take 2 blueprints. What you do is you choose any 2 of these. They are free. They do not cost you any money to take them as a blueprint. Now, on your turn, if you don't like the ones that are there, you can spend a reputation to cycle as many as you want. You don't have to cycle all of them, but as many as you want. Put them to the bottom of the stack, and then you refresh them. I don't think you slide them down. The designers will clarify that. I don't think you slide them down when you're doing the refresh. So these have all got a cost on them, but that is the cost to build them, not the cost to take them. And they have a victory point value at the end of the game. The colours on them indicate the type of people that will enjoy those segments when there is a day in space.
Yeah.
So thematically, if the way to explain it is when there is a day in space, they're not going anywhere. They've got to spend their time on the ship. Therefore, they want stuff to do. So it's not a requirement. You could have 2 orange guests and you could have a botanical gardens, right? That's fine, but they're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to get penalised, but you're not going to get any bonuses, right? So generally speaking, you want colours on here that match the guests, is generally speaking what you want. The ones that have 2 different colours are more expensive because they're a lot more versatile.
Yeah.
It does say slide and refresh.
It's slide and refresh, is it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's the segments, and I've mentioned as an action you can take 2 of them, and then you could do that action again, so you could actually take 4
Right.
if you really wanted to. Now your blueprints will go to the right of your player board. Because of the layout of the board today, I'm going to put my segments here. You can have a maximum of 5. If you go above 5, you can then discard down. You just put them on the bottom of the stack.
Makes sense.
But that's that action. Right. Don't think there's anything I've forgotten. No, we'll come back to what these costs are later.
Yeah.
This action, this is really, really simple. Pay 1 money to take any 2 resources.
Yeah.
So you just adjust your resources on your track. You have a maximum capacity at the moment of 2 of each. And or spend 1 money to gain 2 ads. So that's what that action is. Nice and simple. So yeah, if we just have a look at resources, you've got your individual tracks for your food, your oxygen, and your fuel. You start with 1 of each.
Okay.
You are limited to having 2 of each. But as you remove these developments, it's going to increase the capacity for each of your things. Right. Speaking about removing developments, let's talk about that, because that's quite an important part of the game. That's this action. So this action is build 1 of your developments. And if we just have a look back at my player board, the cost to do so is printed at the bottom of the column. So anything from this column costs 5. This column costs 6. This column costs 7. You have to build them from left to right in a particular row. But that cost can be made up of either money and or the resources that correspond to it. So I could buy that one for 1 fuel and 4 money. And what you do is you remove it from here, increasing your capacity, and then you can place it on any of these spaces and also these technologies. Now, at the start of the game, we are all going to get to remove one of these developments for free and place it, but we can only place it in this area. But during the game, you can place it on any of them. So placing it on here basically gains you 1 reputation.
Yeah.
So the first player to go in each of the areas will get a reputation. And we know what that development does. It allows you to now use additional actions, and it allows other people to use yours as well. Technologies, there are 4 technologies in every game. We are playing with technologies 1, 2, 3, 4 because they're the recommended ones for your first game. As soon as any player's marker is on the technology, and this is the neutral marker because we're playing a 3-player game, that technology has been invented. And anybody can use it by paying the bank for the use of that. So if I went here, I have invented a space elevator. So for me, all of my launches require less fuel because my ship is in space, and everybody else can pay to use my space elevator. What am I doing tonight? I'm going around to Paul's house and borrowing his space elevator. Kind of what happens. Or you could put it on there yourself.
Yeah.
Now, quick look back at the player board. You might be able to see this. There's end of game scoring. If you have removed all 3 from here, you're going to get 5 points at the end of the game. If you've removed all 3 from here, you're going to get 15, and that's 15 instead of 5.
Right, okay.
And if you've removed all of them, which I have seen happen, you get 30 points. So yeah, big points for removing all of those. But that's that. Any questions about the development tokens?
I don't think so.
And yes, for those people watching, these are big, thick, chunky pieces of wood. Right, the next action in this area is this one. This is hiring an expert worker. Now, you start the game with 2 workers, and you have the possibility of hiring 2 additional workers. They've got special white coats because they're experts. So you don't have them at the start of the game. You've only got your 2 normal workers. But you can hire this one. Cost is 2 money for each development cog still on your oxygen and food tracks. So right now, that costs 12. But as you remove these development markers, this one's going to get cheaper. This one costs 3 money per grey tile still in here. Doesn't matter whether it's been flipped over or not. If the tile is still in here, it's 3 money. So that one also costs 12. We're not going to be having any expert workers yet, but we will get them at some point in the game.
Yeah.
And every game, the expert workers have a special ability. I'll explain this once somebody has their first expert worker. Just be aware, expert workers are better versions of normal workers. Plus, they give you 3 workers or potentially 4, which is quite useful because you're having to call meetings less. Any questions about that action?
No.
Right, let's talk about the silo. So these 2 actions are related to the silo because you can see this icon here. And in fact, if I just move this camera around a bit, which is this one, let's just move it to here. This is the silo.
Right,
so the silo starts the game with 2 food, 2 oxygen, and 2 fuel. This is take any 3 resources at no cost from the silo. Sneak in at night, siphon off the oxygen, you just move these down and you add it onto your own supply. Okay? This is you replenish the silo after somebody's come along late at night and stolen all the resources. This costs you an agenda card. Now, we all start the game with an agenda card. You can get more during the game. This is literally discard it for no effect. So throw away an agenda card, but you increase any one of the resources in the silo to the max. You gain 1 money for each space it moved, and then you also gain 1 rep. So that's get money really tight in this game, and if one of these is down here and you've got a spare agenda card, that is an awesome way to get money. So these 2 actions are related to the silo. All right, well, that's more than half the actions done. Let's talk about the cards, because this is part of the game. And I know this is a sponsored playthrough, and I'm not supposed to give my personal opinions, but this bit's really cool. So this here, this is really simple. Take 2 cards. Right, now the cards, there's a deck of cards here.
Yeah.
Here's the 4 currently on offer. This is for the discard pile.
Okay.
So take 2 cards is generally take any 2 cards from here. But if there was a card on the discard pile, I could take that one if I wanted to.
So you pay a prestige?
You pay a reputation
Sorry.
to take a card from the top of the discard pile. So you know those games where somebody plays a card and you're like, oh, that's an awesome card. I really wish I had that card. Well, now you can. You can just take cards and you can actually take one from the top of there, right? These do not replenish. People always ask me, when do the cards replenish? They don't replenish until somebody takes this action. Right, when you take this action, you gain all of the visible benefits. So the more cards that were removed, the more benefits you get.
Yep.
Then you wipe the display and then you replenish with 4 new cards. So you can actually see what the benefits are here. So that is a reputation, that is an ad, that is a money, and that is a resource. So the ideal play is somebody else has taken 2 cards.
Yeah.
So you go there, you take the remaining 2 cards, then you trigger that, get all the 4 bonuses. Yeah. Now, again, we're playing with the introductory setup, so these 2 actions are together. The last time I played, these 2 actions were completely separate, which meant it was a lot trickier timing-wise. While we're talking about the agenda cards, let's just have a look at the cards that I have in my hand. So all agenda cards have a text effect in the middle. They have an icon in the bottom left, and some of them might have an icon in the top right. For example, this one. If there is an icon in the top right, you may only play this card for its ability when you are doing that action. If it doesn't have an icon, then I can pretty much play it whenever I want to. Bottom left, this is an alternative use for the card. So at any time in the game, I can discard this card to gain 1 oxygen or use it as if it was 1 oxygen. So every card has an alternative use. Cards are supposed to be secret, but there's not much advantage to me knowing what you've got in your hand if you're not sure what it does, because I'll forget. Right, that's the cards. So that's those 2 actions covered. Building shuttles is the only other bit we've not done. Right, so that's these 2 actions here. This one is you take a new shuttle. So the new shuttles actually are, where are they? They are over here. Yep, they're over here. So we've got 4. There's 3 on camera. There is another one. So these are random cockpit, random engine. Should actually be, no, that's right. So what you do is you take a set. You take either that one, or that one, or that one, or that one.
Okay.
You immediately get all the benefits printed on the engine, and then you flip it over. And that is your next shuttle. You can have a maximum of 3 shuttles in the game. Now notice at the top of the cockpit, it says -5 end of game points. Every new shuttle you build, including the one that you've already got, is currently worth -5 points. As soon as you have launched that shuttle, you flip the cockpit over.
Yeah.
It's got exactly the same thing printed on it, but it is now no longer worth -5 points. Right? And every cockpit has a point scoring ability, which if you look carefully is a brown and a purple victory point. That means every time you launch it, you will get that bonus. And at the end of the game, you will also get that bonus. So every single cockpit has a scoring condition relating to it. And if you want to know what they all are, your employee handbook has a full list of all of the cockpits in there. That's how you get a new shuttle. You can have a maximum of 3.
Okay.
This action here is building segments into your existing shuttles. So it's build 2 segments, which can be both into the same shuttle, or you can split it over shuttles. If a shuttle is in space, you can't build into it, obviously, because it's up there. You can build from a previously taken blueprint by paying the cost printed on it, which is money. And then what you do is you flip it over and you add it into one of your shuttles like that. And you can build 2 segments with that. Now, cabins. We need to talk about cabins. And I'm actually going to zoom in on here. So if I'd built those 2, you'll notice that those 2 together have made a cabin. This is one of the things about the game which I was initially, I was not expecting it. This ship can have 1 guest on board. You are not going to be building cruise ships with 10 guests. one guest. The maximum size of a ship is 3 segments. That means you will at most, unless you have any special rule-breaking abilities or whatever, you will have 2 guests per ship. So yeah, just be aware of that. It can be any type of guest. The colours on here do not apply to, they're irrelevant.
Yeah.
They're completely different. So on a ship that has got 3 segments in it, you can have 2 guests. On a ship that only has 2 segments in it, you can only have 1 guest. So if the ship only has 1 segment, it can't fly because there's no room for any guest.
Yeah.
So the maximum number of ships you can have is 3, and the maximum number of segments in each of those ships is 3. That's printed top left of your playboard, just as a reminder. Sir Ian O'Toole and his graphic design it's all over here. You can see it in the, there's lots of little rules reminders all over there. But what if you don't have the blueprint, but there's a blueprint there that you really want to build? You can fast track the building by building it straight from here. And that's what this is. So this is an additional cost in addition to the normal cost, and you can actually build it straight from there.
So this is 7.
That would be 7 money
Right.
and 1 reputation, but it saves you an action.
It's true.
And you literally build it straight from there, and you put it straight into the ship. And remember, you can do that as well.
Yeah.
Right, that's all of the actions.
Mm.
So let's go through the requirements of what you need to launch a ship,
Yeah.
because you need to be launching ships. That's what it's all about. You will need to have scheduled a flight.
Yeah.
Do not need to have pre-sold tickets. You can do a late sell, but you'll need the advertising to late sell the tickets. You will need 1 food per guest, plus 1 for the pilot.
Is that on here?
It is
somewhere?
on here.
Yeah, there
It's
you
on
go.
T-3. You will need 1 oxygen per segment.
Okay.
You will need 1 fuel per fuel cost on the cruise
Yeah.
tile. That's what you need.
Okay.
Now, I will go through the flights in a lot more detail when we get there, but what I will say is that for each destination, you're going to need ads to get the full benefit of that destination. In other words, don't launch unless you have got the ads. You don't need the ads to launch, but by the time you arrive at a destination, make sure you've got enough ads, and I will tell you how many is enough,
Okay.
and I'll make sure that you have a way of doing them. Right, let's talk about company goals, because this is the company goal tile that we are using. So at the end of your turn, if you have built 5 developments, you have completed this company goal. And what happens is you take your cube from here and you move it up and put it on the progress track.
Yeah.
And then that moves up.
Next person needs.
The next person needs 6. And then when that person's done it, next person needs 7. So accomplishing the company goals is good, and doing it early is better because it makes it then harder for the other people. This second one is for each set of all 3 different colours in segments across any of your ships. So as soon as you have 2 orange segments, 2 purple ones and 2 teal ones, they don't have to be separate. They could be, just those icons. You've done it. Next person also needs 2 sets. Next person needs 3 sets. If we were playing a 4-player game, the 4-player game is the same as the top. This one is interesting because we can't really fully explain this one, but this is about arriving at destinations. You need to have visited 2 different destinations. We'll come on to that in a bit more detail later on. But yeah, you're not going to be doing that company goal anytime soon. And yeah, there is a question about the 2-player game. The iconography on here means that in a 1- and 2-player game, you actually start in the middle row. Yeah, so it's 1 space up. Thank you, John. Yeah, right. What
Do I
else
need
is
to
there?
know about this?
Yeah. So this is for the days in space.
Okay.
There are 5 tiles, of which you choose 3 at random,
Yeah.
and you allocate them there. So in this game, adventurous guests are going to give reputation, leisure guests are going to give money, and family guests are going to give resources. It actually does change the game quite a bit. it's the only thing for the introductory game which isn't scripted.
Okay.
So they've literally said just choose 3 at random and put them out there, and that's what I've done. But that will apply to Days in Space.
Okay.
Right. I think we're pretty much done.
Feels like there's a feels like we've gone through a lot of the board at least.
So before we start, in reverse player order, so me first, I take one of these
Yeah.
and I put it in this area, not the technologies. I can't have a technology at this stage in the game. I'm going to put it on here, and I immediately get a reputation.
Yeah.
Winning. Well, no.
One or winning?
Oh, quick note about the reputation track. You may have spotted it. End of game points.
Cool.
So if you're here at the end of the game, 3 points. If you're here, 8 points. And if you're here, 15 points. So anytime you see this icon, this is end of game points.
And are you now taking one of these as well?
I will do, but you
Okay.
can do that bit first if you want.
Fine. And obviously you take it off one of these. Is there any particular feeling or thoughts as to which one you...
I've taken it off this one,
Yeah.
which is probably a bad idea. I didn't mean to take it off that one. I meant to take it off this one because there is a technology in this game. In fact, let's take it off that one. There's technologies in this game that allow you to spend fewer fuel, or so less fuel and less food when you are launching. Therefore, I think maybe oxygen slightly, but at this stage, it possibly doesn't matter too much.
I'm happy with that all the same. Right. I think I'm going to go here.
And you gain a reputation.
Yay.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go here. I gain a
You
reputation.
gain a reputation. Right. So, which of these do I want? I'm going to take. Let's just take. I'll take this one. So that becomes a blueprint, and they don't refresh at this point. It's only when we've all taken one that they will then refresh.
Okay. It's expensive, but I've been enjoying my VR gaming recently, so I'm going to take the VR deck.
Well, space carts. Always popular.
So now what happens is these slide down, and we just get. Right, that is it. That is the bit of setup that I sometimes forget. So we're good to go.
Okay.
Pete, your first turn of the game, advance shuttles, no. Call a meeting, no. Launch a space shuttle, no. So it's do an action.
Place a guy on the board. Do something.
Do 2 things.
Do 2 things. So
I didn't mention calling a meeting. Sorry, there is one thing. When you call a meeting, you take your people back.
Yeah.
For each one that you take back, you get a funding bonus.
Which is...
And a funding bonus is any of these brown tiles.
Okay. You don't flip
So,
them, but
no.
you just...
So
take one of them.
anytime you get a funding bonus, which is whenever you return to the break room, you choose any one of those 4. And if you ever gain multiple funding bonuses, you can have the same one.
that's what the hand means.
Yeah. Also, when you call a meeting, you get to do 1 action, which is adjacent to one of your developments.
Okay.
So they've made that's one of the rules changes that I believe was made from an earlier version where calling a meeting was a little bit weak. Now it's quite strong. And yes, Mark has just reminded me there is something about the reputation. I knew there'd be something I forget. So at any time in the game, you may choose, remember that I'm on 3, you may choose to lose any amount of reputation.
I did wonder what that was for, yeah.
And you choose one of the bonuses, and then you get that bonus for each space you've crossed. So if I'm here and I really need resources, let's say I really need 2 oxygen, I could say, right, I'm going to drop down, I need oxygen, so I'm going to need to move to here. I've moved over 2 of those, so I gain 2 oxygen.
Okay.
So you choose one of the 3 bonuses, and you get that the more you drop down. Right, I definitely think that's it now.
What about displacing?
Yeah, so when you displace somebody else's worker, they go back to their break room, which means they get a funding bonus.
Right.
So that's the benefit that they get for being knocked out.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go here.
Yep.
And
So you've got a choice of...
yeah, so I could take these actions, I could take these actions at no extra expense, or I could take these and pay
Adrian
pay
money.
Money!
Yeah. Am I going to do that? No. Instead, I'm going to I do this action, which is to take 2 So it's one action to take 2 segments, isn't
Yeah.
it? 2, is it segments? What
They
are
are
called?
segments.
Segments. Let's have this one.
The arcade.
Let's have the arcade. And let's
I can probably put that over.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's have the let's have the 5D cinema.
5D cinema.
5D.
There's water jets that spray up at you as well.
Everything.
Yeah.
So that's that action done.
You could do that again if you wanted to.
I could do that again. I've got 10 money, so I might think about actually doing this action and putting
That's
2
that.
of these. It's that action.
Yeah,
Sorry,
and
that
building
action.
2.
And building, because now I've got 3. I can do my full allocation of building 2. So I'm thinking about doing that. Well, that would use all my money if I do that.
Well-
I mean, left with 1 money, but it's a very good thing to do.
Yeah.
Very, very good thing to do. So let's do it.
You're going to
Let's-
choose the build
I'm gonna
action.
Spend all my money.
Almost all.
Almost all. Easy come, easy go. Burning a hole. Let's put those 2 over here.
And they flip over.
Oh, they flip over.
That's it. And you've now
Like
got space
paper.
for 1 guest.
Yeah. So we'll have an arcade and a 5D cinema.
Nice.
Everybody's going to want to go on my shuttle.
And this is where there can be a bit of player interaction, because if Pete now schedules a cruise, we could sell
His
tickets to these orange guys.
to stop him getting all
Now,
the juicy bonuses.
it's not normally the thing to do, because by doing that, you're kind of hurting yourself.
Yeah, 'cause you're not getting the
But it means then
prestige or-
Pete launches in space, and yeah, I've never seen it done, but there is the potential there to do it.
Okay, I think that's my go.
Have you accomplished the company goal? No. Right.
Not yet.
Adrian.
Right, well, I think I'm going to go. This might be a mistake, but I think I'm going to go here.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I am going to do is spend 5
To do a development.
to do a development. And this one here. And I am going to get rid of that one and put it there,
Which is a reputation.
which is a reputation.
That technology has now been invented, so
Yeah.
all of your launches need 1 fewer food.
Yeah.
Good.
And your second action,
I'm going to spend that reputation to wipe this all out.
is okay. We just pop them to the bottom of that stack. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can do that before
Yeah,
choosing.
that's why I thought I'd spend it.
You don't have to do that action now. You could do something else.
That did not help whatsoever.
What
So,
about scuba diving and wine tasting? That looks like a really good combination.
but to be fair, wine tasting followed by cocktail corner could get messy.
And yes, to answer the question in the chat, I haven't explained the expert workers. I will do so when somebody's got one. Suffice it to say, the expert worker has a special ability.
I don't feel like it feels like money's going to be hard to come by, is it?
It is.
Do you mind? Sorry, instead of this one, if I do this
That's
one.
fine.
And then I am going to.
So all segments now cost
Yeah.
one fewer money.
Ooh, I was hoping this would be tastier, but I think I'm still going to do this one. So I'm going to take the dive deck,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to take. Oh, they're both 5 cost. No, I'm not. I'm going to take a nice cheap one. I'm going to take Yoga Studio. Is this to a 1 cost, or can it be 0
To a
cost?
minimum 0.
Fine.
Yep. Right. Okay. I go. Well, I'm going to place a worker, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, and I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do both of these actions actually. So I'm going to sneak in at night, take a couple of oxygen, and some fuel. That's that. And then I'm going to do this. I'm going to discard this card, and I'm going to refill the oxygen to the max. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get 5 money, and I gain a reputation. That's my 2 actions done.
Very good. Well,
Your second worker.
Yes. I think I'm going to go here,
Hmm.
and let's have a, what was it, a cruise consultant.
Cruise consultant, travel agent. Which cruise are you going to schedule?
Let's go for the third one down.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. So you immediately gain the ability of any one of those 8 tiles and then flip it over. Now, this one we haven't explained. That is spend 2 money to do a development. So it's not a discount of 2, it's at a cost of 2.
Oh.
Well, I think
You need money.
I need money, so I'm going to take I'm going to take 4 money
Take 4 money and you flip over the grey tile.
and flip it. Oh, I've got this card here.
You do. Are you going to use it?
Immediately move the tile you flipped
Off
and
your
place
player
it
board.
beside your player board. You will take it with you when you launch.
Now the benefit of doing that, because you flipped a grey one, is your expert worker is immediately cheaper.
Oh,
Now, if you weren't going to hire that expert worker, there was no point using that card. Because that tile is going to be moved from there to there when you launch.
I see. So there's no point using that.
There's
now.
no point using it. It's
Okay.
mainly you use it to remove one of these, because as soon as you
Right.
remove one of the brown ones,
Yes.
it's revealed
Yeah.
the enhanced funding bonus.
Yeah. Okay. So no, I won't do that.
Yeah, removing these tiles is really good.
Okay. And I think that was my
So you did that.
first action.
Second action,
Now
you're going to pre-sell some
I
tickets.
could do with having some people on my cruise, couldn't I?
And there's 2 families right down at the bottom, at the front of the queue.
That was kind of the reason why I chose the family trip, and
Yeah.
I chose family friendly.
Yeah.
So let's take those 2 families,
So 1 ad each.
1 at each.
So the first one goes on there, here. You gain a money and you gain a reputation.
Yep.
And you gain a money and you gain a reputation.
Okay, I'm
Now-
not going to argue with that.
Let me tell you about a rule which I haven't mentioned yet. What happens if Pete launches now? How many guests has he got room for?
Just the one.
How many tickets have been sold?
2.
So what happens is, and this is printed on the player board and it's here, if you oversell tickets, the person goes to the top of the queue and you lose a reputation.
It's a fight at easy boarding.
So it can be done that you launch and you don't have enough room for all of the guests. But there is a penalty if you do so.
Interesting.
So Pete has now kind of
Shoehorned himself into
Yeah.
needing to build another deck.
to build another segment in order to have room for the guests. Or that person is going to disappear there. And in fact, it's 2 reputation. 2 reputation. Yeah, because otherwise you gain a reputation by putting
Yeah.
them and so it's 2 reputation if you don't have room for a guest.
Okay.
Right. So that was you done. That one and that one. Adrian. Now remember, you can call a meeting if you wanted to. You don't have to place a worker. He's got to.
Feels like I need to.
Okay, what do you want to do?
So first thing I'm going to do is build 2 decks, and all of them cost 1 less for me to build.
Yep.
So I'm going to build the Yoga Studio for free.
Free yoga studio.
Yep,
Mm.
absolutely. And then I'm going to spend 3 on this dive deck.
What order is best for that? Bit of yoga and then a bit of diving, or bit of diving followed by
Well,
a
I've
bit
put
of
the dive deck above the yoga because that's, of
Right.
course, best
front way.
front loading ship. I don't know. But yes,
Okay.
so that's that one.
That's that action done. You built 2 segments.
And then I think, is it 1 prestige to use this?
It's at the moment it's 2 money.
Oh, it's 2 money, is
Yeah,
it?
it's based on your current reputation, and your reputation is here, which means your cost to use somebody else's token is 2. So you'd have to pay the bank 2 money to be able to do an action here.
Okay. And what's the cost of another shuttle? Is there any cost?
Free.
Free.
We're giving them away.
So it feels like while I'm over here,
Yeah.
I might as well.
So I mentioned that if a shuttle isn't launched, you lose 5 points.
Yeah.
But it still scores you for the scoring condition.
Yeah.
So quite often, don't take one thinking, I'm just going to lose 5 points at the end of the game, because if you've met the condition that's on it,
Yeah.
then it's going to get you points back. So that's 4 points for each shuttle that you have.
Which is
You've
3.
got 3 or more segments.
Yeah.
I said the maximum limit was 3, so how can you have more than 3? There are things that break that. This is 3 points for each combination of things.
So for each of where you've got at least one of
At
each.
least one of each. And it's across all of your ships, not
Okay.
just that one. 4 points for each different launched shuttle.
Okay.
And 3 points for every 2 developments.
I like the sound of that, you know.
So you take that one.
Yeah.
So you immediately get what's printed on the engine,
Which is 3 of these
Yep.
ads.
and then you flip the engine over.
It's a Diddy shuttle.
Okay, you're all done?
Mm-hmm.
So do I want to call a meeting? I don't. So timing-wise, I know that you two are going to be calling meetings next.
Unless you displace one of us.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and be clever.
Ooh.
I'm going to call a meeting. So whenever I call a meeting, workers come back to the break room. I immediately get a funding bonus. I get to choose one of those things. I'm going to choose money because money is tight. And then I get to do an action adjacent to one of my development tokens. So I can do either of those 2 actions. So I'm going to do that action. And I'm going to take these 2 cards. And that's it. That's calling a meeting.
So no one can launch a ship on your behalf, I'm taking.
No.
No. Does this get refilled now?
Oh yeah, that should be refilled. So just the top and the bottom. Yeah.
They don't slide down. They
No, because you can take any one of them.
Okay, they're on the same cost.
Yeah.
Which is 0.
So Pete, you have to call a meeting.
I think I'm going to choose to call a meeting.
You get 2 funding bonuses, which could be the same.
Yes.
And this is where, if you had have flipped one of the brown ones, and you'd have played your instant gratification card,
Got it.
that would have been, yeah. Removing these brown ones as early as you can is amazing.
These are reputation, aren't they?
That's points.
Oh, points.
Yeah. Reputation, the old icon was this. The new one is green.
Right.
So just be aware that the final icon is going to be green. It's still the star, but on this board it's kind of a blue. The final one is green.
I'm going to take 2 of these.
2 ads, yep. And then you get to do one of these actions.
Right. Now, I think the action to take is going to be building segments, which is going to be to place this one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the alternative might be interesting is to I might actually do that, which
Yeah.
would get me a new ship. I'm thinking, well, that's interesting. No, I'm going to do that instead. I'm going to get a new ship.
Okay, which one do you want?
I'll have this one, I think.
Because the goal of that cockpit is similar to this goal.
Mm-hmm.
So you get whatever's printed on the engine,
3 money.
and then you flip the engine over.
Flip.
And that's your go done.
Yeah.
Adrian,
I think I'll call a meeting.
good idea. So you get 2 funding bonuses.
So I'm going to take 2 coins, 2 monies. I can take the same one twice.
You
can't
can
I?
take the
Yeah.
same one twice. I had one person in a game that I think got 6 funding bonuses all at once. Had unlocked that
Yeah,
and took 12 money. And it was near the end of the game, but it was pretty awesome.
nice. And then I've got to take one of these
You
actions.
take
Is that
one of those 4 actions. And just so we know, this technology has been invented.
Yeah.
So whenever you are taking guests from the queue, if you want to pay the neutral player for the use of their technology, it means you pay less advertising.
And at any point, I could now go down 1 prestige to get a
You can
coin.
go down as many as you want.
But if I go down 1 as yellow,
For you, going down 1 is 1 money. Yeah.
fine, let's do that. I'm then going to spend that with 4 coins to do this action and put this one out here.
Yep.
So I'll have
Yeah, you use the reputation back. Okay.
reputation, sorry.
My go?
Yep.
Right, I'm going to go here. So the first action I'm going to do is to take 2 cards.
Yeah.
And then the next action I'm going to do is to gain all of these bonuses and then wipe the cards and then replenish them. There is a limit of 5 cards in hand. I didn't mention that, but there's a limit of 5 cards. So I gain a reputation, I gain some advertising, I gain some money, and again a resource, which will be some food, and then we replenish. And that's my 2 actions done. Time to have a look at cards that I've taken. Ooh. 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 Right. Okay.
Right. Well, I'm going to go here again
Mhm.
and take 2. This one and
Game
this
show.
one, I think. Game show and a massage lounge. Perfect combination
Yeah.
after a busy day's karting. Now and then
So that was that
that
action.
action.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go back
You
to
can use this. You
yeah.
can build some more.
build 2 more.
I think you've. Yeah, you've done this.
I'm going to build
That's early.
this one at a cost of 3, which flips over.
Now you could pay 2 money to Adrian to get a discount of 1 on that.
I think that's what you should do.
No, you know, I'm very tempting. It's very tempting, but Adrian, I'm very sorry. I'm going to decline that kind offer, and then place another one.
Yeah.
I think a game show is going to look good on this ship over here. This is going to be
great.
the fun ship. So let's take 2 change.
You could have paid me 2 to save 2.
Yeah, you could have done.
Yeah,
It's disgraceful behaviour.
and I think that's me done.
It is, but at the end of your turn, you have completed this company goal
Oh,
because you have 2 orange, 2 purple, 2 teal.
oh,
Nice.
Yep. So it's for 2 full sets of the icons in segments on your ship. So what happens is this moves up to here. So it's actually no harder for the next person to do it. But we move your cube from here to here.
oh, can I have the green one, please?
Sorry. You're green, not yellow.
Yeah.
There you go. Progress has been made. Yeah, I thought you were going to get that quite early.
My turn?
Yeah.
Perfect. I think this is the one to do next.
You're going to schedule a cruise?
I am.
Which one?
Purples are expensive. And they don't move down, do they?
They will move down when somebody launches and a new cruise comes out.
Okay.
Not all of them will move down, but some of them will move down.
In which case, let's go here.
Uh-huh.
I will take what? Two we go there. I'll take the financial loophole, please.
So you're placing there,
Yeah.
you're going through that to take that. Yeah, it's a financial loophole. That's a really nice card.
And I will also take the early bird special, please. Thank you.
Second action.
Is take some of these.
Oh yeah, you can do all of these now.
I
Can't
can.
you? Yeah, nice.
So I'm going to take the 0G Circus. And I'm going to take a piano lounge. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a... Yeah, I'm going to take a piano lounge.
Keep the monkeys out of the piano.
It'll go nicely with my yoga studio.
Right. All done?
I think so.
No company else. Right. So I'm going to go... Well, I was going to go there, but now that you've done that, I'm going to go here. So I'm going to go for this one. And I'm going to flip over... I'm going to flip over that brown. So I get 1 point and I flip it over. There you go. Now I'm winning. That was that action. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this action and I'm going to spend 2 ads to put that on there and that on there. That gets me 2 money and 2 reputation.
Very good.
So 2 reputation and 2 money. yeah, when those two actions are together, it does make the game
Yeah.
easier because they're
Mm.
linked together. But yeah, that's me done.
Okay, let's put him here. I'll take one of each,
So 1 oxygen, 1 fuel, and 1 food.
and then I will take the other action on the same.
You're going to do it. So you ditch a card. There. Fuel.
all the way to the top.
1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 money and 1 reputation.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 actions done.
Right. It's your lucky day, Paul.
Ooh.
It's been
So
bumped.
I get a funding bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, I can no longer take a point now because it's been flipped over. But I will take an ad.
Nice. First action I'm going to do is take those 2 other cards, please.
And then
And then,
do what I did.
yeah, but I'm going to do
You're
it
going to do
where
that. Yeah.
I get to the refill bonus
You
twice.
get it twice.
There you go.
That's very nice. So you get 2 reputation.
2 reputation,
Right, look at
please.
that.
You get 2
2
ads,
ads.
2 money, 2 resources. We then wipe the cards, but there aren't any.
And
Yeah,
2 resources. What do I want to do? I'll definitely need some of this, and I think, in all honesty, I'll probably need some of this as well. There we go.
All done. You placed, kicked me out, did
Yeah.
2 actions, no company goal. Right. Well, I definitely need to get those segments built for this ship since we're going down the orange route, it seems. And I could just build them straight from there. That might be the thing to do. Lose a little bit of reputation just to build things from there. Yeah. Okay, I can't have any resources, so... Okay, I'm going to go here. I'm going to take this new shuttle. That immediately gets me 2 money. And a funding bonus, which will be an ad. And then that flips over. Second shuttle. And we get a new shuttle. I'm not going to do it again, though. I am going to build. So I'm going to spend 2 money to build the climb zone. Now, which one do I want to put it in? I'm going to put it in my new ship, actually. And then I am going to build Cocktail Corner
Directly from the board.
directly from here. So it actually costs me 6 money
Right.
and a reputation from there straight in. Okay,
It saves you a turn.
effectively it saved me.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, sort of.
Okay. Now I'm not a million miles away from launching.
You're
I'm
not.
not quite ready yet, but I'm just thinking now about what am I going to need. So if I was going to launch this one,
This is your thing.
yeah,
These are the people going on. You're going to need 2 ads
right.
to get the best benefit.
So I've got 2 ads.
Yeah.
I'm going to need, however, I'm going to need some resources, aren't
3
I?
oxygen,
I'm going to need 3 oxygen. I've only got 2.
2 fuel,
2 fuel. I've got 2 fuel.
and
Yeah.
3 food.
So I've only got 2 food.
Mm.
So I'm 1 food and 1 oxygen short of being ready to go, and everything else is pretty much there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I'm going to call a meeting.
Okay, so everybody comes home. You get 2 funding bonuses.
Well, one of those funding bonuses can be oxygen.
Yeah.
So I'm just short of food.
hmm
I've got to think about how I'm going to get some food. Now.
So you either place that on the board and then gain a food,
Yes.
or you invent that technology which allows 1 food less,
Okay.
or you have a card that
Oh.
has a food icon on it.
Oh, there's one there. Ooh, how do I get that?
You choose to take cards and you pay a rep to take that one.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, so that's what I mentioned briefly, that these cards, you can throw them away to gain that resource,
Yes, that's right.
or you can use them as if they were that resource.
Okay.
Because right now you need 3 food and you don't have capacity for 3.
Okay.
So you could spend 2 and a card, and that would be the 3 that you needed.
Well, I'm going to take my other. I can't remember what was the name.
Funding bonus.
Funding bonus. Yeah, my other funding bonus is going to be an ad.
Yep.
Then
an action.
I get to choose from any of these to have an action, and I think it's going to be this tile here. But I'm
So
not.
you've no room for. But you could just do the bottom one twice.
Yeah. So I fill it with.
Sorry, no, you can't. No, you do that and that.
Oh. Ah. Yes. So in fact, so can I backtrack?
Yeah.
Can I take, instead of taking that as my funding bonus, I'll take one of those instead.
Yeah.
Not one of those, one of those instead.
Yeah.
And then now
You'll do
I
that
can do
and that. So you spend 1 money for 1 oxygen.
yes, 1 money for 1 oxygen.
Yeah, it's actually 1 money for 2, but you throw the other one away,
Yeah.
and 1 money for 2 ads.
Yes, let's do that. 1 money, 2 ads.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's all my.
Good to go, Adrian.
I
Meeting
am also
time.
going for a meeting, so I shall pull these back. I am going to take 1 food and 1 quid buck.
So you get a
And
food.
then any of these, isn't it?
Any of those actions at the top.
Can I also do a productive meeting?
So when you're returning people to the break room,
Yeah.
you get an additional 3. That's yeah.
So I'm going to take 1,
Can you imagine if you'd improved one of those funding bonuses?
2, 3. Do I need that? 1, 2, and then I'm just going to put the oxygen up for 3, and then I get to take 1 of those actions, don't I? Which is going to be to take this one here.
Yep, 2 blueprints.
So I'm going to take that one. No, you can only build a maximum of 2 at once, can't you? And if I've got a card that says you gain a bonus for an action or something.
This is doing an action.
Yeah. What I'm saying is like if I select do this twice in my next round, do I gain that bonus? Does it stick for the whole thing? It just sticks for that one action, right? So maybe I leave that alone then. What we got over there? Gain thingies. On your turn, you may spend 1 to gain 3 coins. No, okay. In which case, I'm going to take this. So I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to take this one. That one? No. I'm going to take this one.
Right, my go.
Yes.
I had a plan. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I can't, because I'm going to call a meeting as well. But I also have a card. So when we call a meeting, we're going to have an angel investor to get 4 money. So, thank you very much. And I get 2 funding bonuses, and I'm going to take an ad and a money. And then for my action, I think I'm going to do this action, and we're going to refill the food. So 1, 2, 3, 4 money and a rep by throwing a card away. So 4 money. So my reputation is now here, which means I only pay 1 to use other people's developments.
Very good.
Right, Pete.
Well, much as it pains me to do it,
That's where I was going to go.
I think
That gets you a rep.
I'm going
So
to.
you've invented the nutrition compactor. Costs you 5 money. Or combination of money and food.
Oh yes. Yes.
And then you could pay me 2 money to, do something else here.
Why would I want to do that? Right. If I did that here,
You'd
could I
get nothing. You'd get no bonuses. Then the cards would clear and refresh. So that'd be no good to you.
So
That's the one you want. That would
get
take
me
2
two
cards.
cards.
So you'd be paying Adrian 2 money to take 2 cards. I mean, it's either that or you'll forgo your second action. Because you don't have enough money for that.
Or that.
Or that. Unless... Yeah. No.
If I pay 2 money to do one of these, then I'm not going to be able to do that because I've got no money.
Because you'll have no money. Yeah.
So I won't be able to do that. So it'll only be that. So do I want to do that is the real question. To which the answer is probably why not? Because I've got another shuttle that needs.
So you're going to pay 2 money to Adrian to use his development.
I'll pay 2 money to Adrian.
There you go.
So kind.
He's such a nice chap. How could I?
Yes, let me show you how to innovate over here.
Well, I think that yes. Let's have a very, very quick look over there. Children seems to be the way forward, although we do want to have a mixture. Don't we?
The
We've already
future,
got lots.
don't
Well, we've already got children.
You've got a fun park. It's a whole lot of fun with prizes to be won.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is
But
it?
you already got the perfect ship for families. You can't have more than 3 family icons on a ship.
That's true. So probably I should be looking for.
You should be looking to
mixture of-
diversify because of this.
I probably need adventure people and more chilling people. So I need purples and oranges. There aren't any oranges, but I can replenish
You can
by
if you want to.
taking a hit of 1. Let's do that.
So you're going to take a rep
Yes.
to wipe. It's any number of them, but
Um,
presumably you want to wipe all of them
Well, I'm
because
gonna-
you're looking for orange.
Yes. I'll certainly wiping out all the children. That didn't sound right, did it?
It's only a different game.
Oh, escape maze.
There we go.
Well, let's have the escape maze and the sport arena.
Yep.
Those two. Let's do those two, and put them there. And then I think that's my go.
And then Adrian.
Right. I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to do this.
You're going to build 2 things
Yes. And I'm going to pay 2 fewer for each of them. On top of my
on top
other
of that.
one.
So every single one is 3 cheaper.
Yeah.
That's an awesome card. First one I ever played in the game. First game of
So
it.
I'm going to put this one up here, which is going to cost me 2. And then I'm going
So
to
cheap.
do this one for 1. And then I'm just going to do it again. But it's 1 cheaper, isn't it? So that would be 2, and that would be. Was the wine tasting the right thing to do?
There's a
Then?
comment in the chat about language independency, and yes, the only thing with text on is the cards and the technologies.
You got the names of the. But
Yeah.
am I going to do that again then? Yeah, you know what? Actually, I am, and I'm going to spend my because it's 1 cheaper, so I'm going to spend 3, and I'm going to do this is a bit of an odd one.
Well, it's 3 cheaper, isn't it?
No, because I've spent.
you're
that
doing
card,
the action
I'm
again.
doing the whole action again.
Right. Okay.
That's why I asked the question before.
Got it. Yeah.
It was because I was a bit like, okay. I feel like that's the wrong choice, but
It's 2 big ships.
it's 2 big ships.
Is that the company goal completed?
I think so.
Yes. So are we done with your turn?
Yes.
So that moves up to there, and that moves to there. So as soon as a ship launches, we're going to have an AGM,
Okay.
because that will be a cube in there. My go. I'm going to go here. I'm going to take 2 segments. We're going to take this one. And also going to take let's take this one, and then I'm going to pay you 1 money because of my reputation, so I only have to pay you 1 to do that. I'm going to spend 5 money to put this here, getting the reputation. So I went there, did that action, haven't accomplished a goal. Pete, do it.
I think it's time for
Is it launching time?
Virgil to slide backwards down
Right.
the upside down ramp.
So at which point I'm actually going to show you my player board, but it's Pete that's doing it. So we'll take Pete. So what you do, you
Okay.
take your worker and you put it on T-5.
Okay.
And the iconography is fantastic. It's all here. Basically, the first thing you do is you take the little cruise thing that you scheduled and you place it at the top of your ship.
Oh, that's this
So
one.
you take that one and you put it above the ship, which is
Okay.
flying.
There it is.
Then the next icon means that you return your cruise consultant back to the top of the board. So again,
There it goes.
that goes up there, right? Then what we do is you place the guests into the cabins, and if there is a guest and there isn't a space for them, you lose 2 reputation. Now at
That's
this
what I
point, if you didn't have the pre-sold tickets, you could then do a last-minute sale, paying 1, 2, 3, 4 ads to get the people on.
Okay, they're on board. They're strapped in.
Okay, so once we've done that, we then move up here, which is you place one of your cubes onto the progress track. So, yep, here.
Oh, there. Sorry.
This is the progress track.
Oh, sorry.
So that means there's going to be an AGM at the end of this turn.
Okay.
Then what we do is we go to T-3, and you have to spend 1 food per guest, plus 1 for the pilot.
So that would be 3, but I've got that. So
Pete's got the
it's only
nutrition compactor, so it's 2 food, 1 oxygen per segment on the ship. There are 3 segments, so you pay 3 oxygen, and 1 fuel based on the cruise. So that cruise has
2.
2 fuel on it, so you have to spend 2 fuel. Okay? Now we go to T-2. You gain the points printed based on the cockpit, and you flip the cockpit over if it hasn't already been flipped over. So your cockpit, all of our starting ones, is 1 point per segment across all of your ships.
That's 5.
So that's
4.
4 points. And then you flip that cockpit over and you are no longer getting the -5 points at the end of the game.
Yep.
The next bit, what you've all been waiting for, that token that you flipped over earlier now goes onto the engine compartment of your ship. Which doesn't do anything in itself, but that will be dropped off on a destination later on. But that tile has now been removed from there.
Okay.
Then what we do is we do T-0. At T-0, that person, that worker that you've got on here becomes the pilot, and we then replenish the cruise. So that goes there. That's now a pilot, and now we replenish the cruise. So we take a new cruise from the top of the stack, we place it on there. Then what we do is we work out how, first of all, it's a cruise with a purple and an orange destination.
Okay.
So all of the purple and the orange guests
Move down.
move down. Then the number of people that got on the ship that's just launched is 2. So that's how many new guests arrive. What we do is we look at the colours on the new one. It's purple and orange. So we get a new purple and an orange that go in there. If it was just 1 destination, it would be 2 of them.
Okay.
And if it was 3 destinations, it would be the first 2. So that's how new cruises get added, and that's how new guests come in. And that's it. That is your turn done. So that was your turn. But at the start of your next turn, you're going to do the advancing shuttles bit,
Okay.
which is not your turn.
We've got an AGM
Oh.
now. Is that the right?
We now have an AGM. So
Okay.
let's press this button here. So AGM number 1. Let's just move this up. Yep, AGM number 1, because it's filled, is all players get points based on the number of award symbols visible, multiplied by the number of cubes they have in the first progress section. And whoever's got the highest reputation is treated as having 1 more cube.
Okay.
So, Pete, for example, you are green. You've got 2 award symbols showing because everybody's got 1 by default. So you've got 2 awards. You have 2 cubes in there, so you get 4 points.
Okay.
Adrian, you've got 2 awards and 1 cube.
Yep.
So you get 2 points.
Yep.
I have 1 award, no cubes, but I do have the
one.
highest reputation, so I get 1 point. And that's it. That's the AGM.
Can we stop now? Because I'm winning.
The second AGM is almost the same, except it's the cubes in this area.
Okay.
Right.
Well, now these are all in a better place.
You're
Let's do that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
going to schedule that one.
down to the
So
bottom there.
choose one of your upgrade tiles from your scaffolding,
Oh yeah.
gain the benefit, and then flip it over.
How many ads do you need roughly in space?
For that cruise, if you're going to have 2 purple guests,
Yeah.
you're going to need 1 each.
1 each. In which case, I think I'm just going to take the 1 coin. And
And then you flip over the upgrade tile.
then I flip
Yeah.
over the upgrade tile.
And that's it. That's that
That's that one?
action.
And now I'm gonna.
You are going to do this one, are you?
Yep. So.
4 ads. Are you going to have the right people?
1, 2, 3, 4. I think so. I think
Yeah.
that's the right thing to do.
So each one of them will get you 1 money and 1 reputation because there is a destination.
So I'll have 2
Matching where they
reputation
wanna go.
please.
All done?
All done.
No company goals or anything? My go. Well, I feel like I'm falling a bit behind on the curve here with doing things. But there is stuff that I want to do. So, Pete, you're going to get kicked out.
Oh,
Have a funding
No,
bonus.
okay. Possibly some money, I think.
I'm going to do that. And I'm going to build. I'm going to develop this. So that's going to cost me 6. I could pay for it with some food, but I'm not. I'm just going to pay for it. Cold hard cash. We're going to invent that technology because it's still free. And I'm going to do that action again. And I'm going to pay another 6. To place this. Now, interestingly, if I'd have done my first development and placed it there,
Mhm.
I could now do my second action
Yeah.
there. I'm going to place this here.
No.
No, there. So choices. Yeah, I should have gone there earlier. Anyway, we've done that. That's it. That's my 2 actions done. So here we go. I said it'd be about an hour and a half. We have our first advanced shuttle step.
Oh, of course.
So let's just have a look at this. I'm just going to borrow it, Pete, for a minute, just to show the
Where are
audience
we
what it
going?
is.
Where are we going?
So this is Pete's cruise that is going on.
Yep.
It is a 2-step cruise. The first step is a day in space, and then that is a destination. So cruises have a mixture of destinations and days in space. Some of them only have 1 day in space, some of them have 2, some of them have 1 destination, some of them have 2, and then the third stop is they come home. The rules are different based on whether it's a day in space or it's a destination. The best way to explain this is thematically. So if it's a day in space, the people are going to use whatever is on the ship. And that's what it is now. If it's a destination, they don't use the ship whatsoever. It's something completely different. And we'll explain that on Pete's next turn. But on this turn, people on his ship are wanting to use the facilities on that ship. Now, in this game, adventurous guests provide reputation, leisure guests provide money, and families provide resources. Pete's got 2 families on the ship, so each one of those is going to provide 1 resource for each segment that matches their type. So in other words, you've got 2 families and you have 3 segments that need families, so that's 6. So you gain 6 resources. If he only had 1 family, he'd only gain 3. But if the other one was an adventurous person, so if this one was orange, there is one thing for the orange person to do. You gain 1 reputation. So that's why it's useful to have matching segments for the guests. So you gain 6 resources by doing that, which is pretty awesome. That's it. That's the day in space. We need to move the worker there just to say we're there. But that is it. That is the day in space. And now
I do another.
it's your turn.
Okay.
And because I kicked you out, it means you don't have to call a meeting.
Yes. No, I think what I'm going to do is go here.
Kick
Kick
Adrian
you
out.
out.
So Adrian gets a funding bonus.
And then I'll put my
Oh,
cruise
you need-
consultant.
Which cruise do you want?
I think he's going to go here.
Okay. So you gain the benefit of one of your upgrade tiles and flip it over.
Gain the benefit and flip it over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of these, not one of
Is
these.
any of them? Yeah.
Oh, it could be one of these.
Yeah.
Could be one
That's
of
how
those.
you got it last time.
Oh, right, okay. That's 4 resources, isn't it?
4
I've only
resources.
got space for 2.
That's builder development at a cost of 2.
The cost of 2.
Cost of 2. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, let's do that.
Okay. You're gonna need to get the other money from somewhere,
Oh,
which you can by losing 3 reputation.
No. Sorry, let's rewind. Let's do this
Yes. So
instead.
you gain 1 resource.
I flip that over
And you flip it over.
and I get 1 resource.
And that is that cruise scheduled. And your second action,
Putting guests on there.
are you going to pre-sell some tickets?
I think I might.
Well, you've got choices here.
I think they're going to be a couple of orange people.
So this one will cost you 1 ad,
Yes.
and this one will cost you 2 ads.
Okay, I've got 3.
Okay, so they go on there. So 1 money per destination, 2 destinations, so you gain 4 money back. And is there a destination matching the type? Yes, so you gain 2 reputation.
Excellent. Thank you.
Action's all done.
Right. I think then we launch
Launching. So you go on to the T-5.
T-5.
Yeah. So you take the thing,
Yeah.
put it above the ship that you're launching.
Yes.
Right. You then move your cruise consultant back to their office.
Yeah.
You then put the guests. Do you have room for them?
I do.
That's good.
They're going wine tasting, dive to the dive deck, and then they're going to the yoga studio.
Okay.
Sounds quite relaxing.
T-4.
T-4. So I then
Take
do one
a
of
cube,
those.
put it in there.
Yeah.
T-3.
It costs me 3 food,
3 food,
3
3
fuel,
oxygen.
3 oxygen, and 2 fuel.
Yeah, unless you wanted to borrow my tech or Pete's tech or
Nope,
anything
I'm
like that.
fine with
Okay,
that.
right. T-2.
Is
Gain the points based on the shuttle, which is 1 point per segment across all of your ships.
that's 6.
6 points. And then you flip the cockpit over unless it's already been flipped.
Yep.
T-1. Take the previously flipped upgrade tile and put it on the engine of the ship.
Oh yeah.
And then T-0. That person becomes the pilot.
Yeah.
And then we get a new one. So the new one comes in. Oh, it's the big one. So all guests go down a slot. And then 2 people got on. So
Yeah.
2 people come on here. So it's purple and teal.
It's not 3, no. It's
It's
just
not
the 2.
3. It's
Right,
the number
okay.
of people that got on.
Fine.
What's here determines which ones move down
Yeah.
and the order in which the new ones are
Fine.
put on. And that's it. That's your action. Well, I think I'm close to launching as well. Close, but just not quite. So I need to call a meeting. So these 2 are going to come home. So I'm going to get 2 funding bonuses. I'm going to take 2 money. And then I get to do an action. And I can choose from any of these actions. So I think what I might do is, I mean, I could do this. I could absolutely do this. I mean, that's what I wanted to do, but I ended up putting this in the wrong place. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that action. So we're going to pre-sell. I'm going to use these because they're cheapest. So I'm going to spend 2 ads to pre-sell these 2 tickets to here. Because there's 3 destinations. So that one gets 3 money and a rep, and that gets 3 money and a rep. Wow. So I get 6 money. There we go. So I called my meeting, took my workers back, I did an action. Pete.
Right.
So, advanced shuttles. So it lands at a destination. Now, this is the point in the game where everybody who's watching, and potentially you, might think, this is fine, this isn't a heavy game. We're now going to explain another part of it, which is quite a lot. So, this whole section of the player board, we're now going to explain this. These are the 3 different types of destination. And what's going to happen is Pete has arrived at a family destination on his cruise, which means he could, and he will, take the token which is on his engine and drop it off on one of the slots of that destination. Now, if you were on a cruise with 2 destinations, you might want to drop it off at the first one, but if you don't, you drop it off at the next one. But if there's only 1 destination, you will drop it off at that destination. Now, when you drop it off at a destination, it does 2 things. First of all, you will notice that there are 9 special player abilities. We didn't explain these. We didn't even mention them.
No.
But basically, Pete has landed at a family destination. He's got his token. He puts it in one of those 3 slots. He's going to immediately gain one of those special player powers. This one means for the rest of the game, whenever you move your reputation marker up, you get the bonuses underneath. This one is every time you play an agenda card, you gain the resource of that agenda card. So if you play it for its resource, you get another resource. And if you play it for its ability, you get the resource. This one, you can bump out your own workers. So, and I'll explain these later on, but that's your choice. Which of those 3 abilities would you like?
I'm going to go for the first one, I think.
Okay.
And it only cost me 1 because I've got the...
Well, hang on. That's the first thing. So I'm actually just going to put it in here just to show you what Pete's done.
Yep.
Pete has put it in here. So he's now got that ability for the rest of the game. Now, I said it does 2 things. That's one thing that it does. The second thing is all about this bit. So whenever you arrive at a destination, what you can do, and this is optional, but you do want to do it, you spend advertising to gain points. So, Pete, you've got 2 families on board, and because you've arrived at a family destination, you spend 1 advertising, and you gain, it's 4 points.
Is it 1 per family?
It's 1 per family. If that wasn't there, it would only be 3 points.
Yeah.
So if you're playing the long game and you end up visiting the same destination multiple times, and you end up dropping these tokens off, it can end up that it's worth 6 points.
Right.
If it's a non-family, it costs 2 advertising.
Yeah.
But because you've got 2 families, it's cost you 1 advertising for each family, and each one is going to get you 4 points.
Right.
That's the most complicated part of the game to explain, and that's it. We've done
So I
it.
spend my 2 advertising and I get 8.
And you get 8 points.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And now you've got that special player ability. So going back to this company goal here, this company goal is for having that token on 2 different destinations.
Right, okay.
So it encourages you not to go to another family
That's fine. Yeah.
destination, to go to a different one. As soon as you've gone to a different one, we unlock that. That was your advancing shuttles. Now we do your turn.
And it's still in space.
It's still in space.
Okay. So
And
now
you
I do
have
my
to call a
turn.
meeting because, and as somebody mentioned it in the chat about an hour ago, when you've got a shuttle in space,
Yeah,
you've only got 1 worker.
Yeah.
And there is actually, and this is mentioned in the back of the rule book, what happens if you've only got 2 workers and they're both on shuttles?
You have no time.
It's in the rule book. I've not looked at it, but I know it's in there because it's never happened to me. But yeah, they've thought of it.
Okay. Oh, he's going to come back.
You get 1
He's gonna
funding
go
bonus
there. I get a funding bonus, which is going to be advertising, sorry.
and
And
an
then
action of either of
I
these.
think I'm going to build a pair of shuttle parts. And it's going to be these 2, I think. No. I could pay 2 money to either of you.
No, it's too many to both of us.
4 money to save
Two.
2 money. Yeah. Okay. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
You will not do that. I'm going to place these two, I think, at a cost of 3. They flip over and they go in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 for shuttles at maximum size. Adrian,
Right.
so you have a day in space.
have a day in space.
So there's 2 leisure
coins.
guests.
Yeah.
Each leisure guest provides 1 money
Yeah.
for each thing that they have to do.
Oh,
Yeah,
so it's 6.
it's 6.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
Because there are 3 different things that they can do. So they have an absolute whale of a time and they give you 6 money.
Bro.
That's a day in space. Then
And
it's your turn.
then I've got to call a
You've got
meeting.
to call a meeting.
So,
You get a funding bonus. Now, your funding bonus could now be
yeah.
2 money because you've unlocked that.
I think it's going to have to be that, yeah. And then,
You can do any of these 6 actions.
yeah, I'm going to spend 6, because things get expensive now, to take that and put it over here.
Mm-hmm.
Using that one there.
My go.
Yeah.
Things on there that I want to do, but it's not ideal. But I've got to do it. I'm going to go here. I'm going to build 2 segments. Automated systems means my segments are cheaper. The cost of these is 1, reduced to 0. So that's going to go in there. That's going to go in there. Right. We're ready. I do have a second action though. Tell you what I could do. Oh, I know. I'm not in a rush to do that because it's already been done. How am I for advertising? No. I'm going to take another. Do I want to take another one? Oh, sure.
You sound
I
really
don't want to waste an action, but actually, this might end up. No, sure. Let's take that one. Okay, so this is my third ship. I gain 2 resources, which will be that one, and I gain 1 money. Yeah, this one's actually going to end up costing me points, I think, but we'll see. Right, so I placed there, I did that, and I did that. That's it. Pete, your turn. So, advance the shuttle, it comes home. So here's what happens when it comes home. It's really simple. That worker goes back to your break room and you get a funding bonus.
Okay.
This tile goes to the bottom of the stack, and the guests go back here.
Okay.
That's what happens when it returns home. And then it's your turn.
Do they get to mention me on TripAdvisor?
Yes. Rubbish.
Okay.
No, they had a great time. There's loads of stuff for them today.
So, next.
And you could launch straight away. So as soon as one comes home, you could launch that shuttle right away if you had the...
enough fuel.
Yeah.
Which we don't quite. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, because if I go here, I can take these 2 cards as my first action,
Yep.
which both happen to have fuel on them. You might have noticed that. And then I could take the other 2 cards and do that again, or some of the other actions. Oh, actually, that one looks quite tempting, doesn't it? Have I got enough money? No, I haven't, so it's no longer tempting. Let's just do these 2.
So you're going to do this action.
Yes.
So you get a reputation and an advertising.
Yes. And this time,
And now we wipe these.
because of this, when I advance my reputation, I get whatever.
You gain the
underneath.
bonus that you passed, so you gain an advert.
I have to make sure I remember that. I can see it could be quite easy to forget.
Yeah, and you're now here, which means you only pay 1 to use other people's things now.
Much more like it. And that's my go, I think.
Right.
Nobody's got an expert worker yet, but I'm close.
You're working on
Yeah, me too.
I am close to getting one.
So I'm going to go here on the next stage of my trip.
which is a destination.
Which is a destination.
Do you want to drop off the thing? The
Yes.
answer is yes. So let's just look at my board. It's a purple destination.
Yeah.
So your 3 player powers are, whenever you launch, you can sneak an extra person in, but you lose 2 reputation.
Okay.
Right? You basically convert one of the cargo holes into a cabin. This one is whenever you gain reputation on your turn, you gain 1 more. There's a limit of like 1 per step. But,
Yeah.
And this one, your workers are treated as if they are experts.
So what do experts do?
So expert workers, which we haven't mentioned yet. So there are 6 different expert worker tiles in the game. This is the one we're using for this game. It means every time your expert worker bumps out somebody else, you get a funding bonus. Okay.
Is that useful? No, I think I'm going to go for this gain a
Going for the middle
reputation
one?
and gain an extra one. So
Right.
I get 4 victory points for that.
Well, now we've done that,
Okay.
you can now advertise
Yeah.
to get the victory points.
Which is
So because they match the destination, it's
Yeah.
1 ad each, and you get 4 points for each. So it's 8 points.
cool. And then they go. Oh no, they stay
yeah.
there for the moment.
I mean,
yeah.
you can't jettison them.
Throw them out the
yeah.
other lot.
So
I was just going to leave them behind. They're having a great time on their
come
destination.
to Adrian Cruise's chance of survival, 50%. We're having a lovely time at the destination.
So the next thing I think is, then I go here. I spend 6 monies, which is all my monies, and I put this here. Yep. I then
How are you doing that? But just by going there.
just by going there, I then go up one on the.
Yeah, I was about to do it.
Thought you were.
Is that your turn done?
No, I've still got another one to
So
do.
we went that. You did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Do something different then.
yes. Oh, can I also,
You can
when placing your worker, if it is your only worker on the board, which it is,
get full money.
get 4 money?
Yep.
I might then buy an extra worker because it's 4 money, isn't it?
So that expert worker will cost you 4 money. Yep. There you go. You hire your expert worker. So as soon as you hire them, they go to the break room. They don't fit in the top 2 slots.
Nope.
But they do fit there, and you get a funding bonus.
2 coins, sure.
Yeah. You all done?
Yes.
Right. Well, I was going to go there and do pretty much exactly that. So instead, I'll launch. So T-5. I'm going to take this. I'm going to put it here. Is that on camera? It's not on camera. Now it's on camera. Just. I'm going to move my cruise consultant back to there. We're going to load these 2 guests. We have room for them. Then I'm going to place a cube onto here, and performance bonus, when I add a cube to the track, I get 5 money. Right, do I have 3 food? Yes, I do, but don't I need cheaper? I'd have to pay 2 money. Is it worth it? No, we're going to pay 3 food. Oxygen, I need 3 oxygen, no way of discounting it. So 3 oxygen, but fuel, I need 2, but I've got that, so I only need 1. Right. Gain the cockpit bonus. So 4 points for each of my ships that has 3 or more segments. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip the cockpit over. T-1. I'm going to place that on there. T-0. That becomes the pilot. And we get a new one. So that one comes out. Purple and orange move down. And then 2 new ones come out, and it's purple and orange. Put them there. That's it. That's my
Chat are
turn.
reminding me that I need to go up 1 because I've got 5 cogs.
Oh yeah, we were going to do it, and
We
then
were
I
going to do it
forgot.
and then didn't.
Yes, thank you, chat.
Yeah.
So that goes up to there. Right. Now that would have happened at the end of your
Yeah,
turn.
of course, yeah.
Pete, your go.
Now, if you remember last turn, I moved there in order the reason for doing it was just to take these 2 to provide me with 2 fuel. John has just kindly pointed out in the chat that I could have launched, and I could have just dropped my reputation marker down.
Could have done.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that's very kind of him to point that out.
Yeah.
But I'm
Moving down to get whatever from here
Yeah.
is something that you do need to,
remember.
and I don't, because I don't like spending rep, but
Yeah, it's not really a good
it-
thing to do in
but it
game
could save you a
terms,
turn.
But if it saves you a turn, which it potentially could have done, I'm going to launch. So my worker will go here.
Well, hang on a minute. I do have a question. So moving, so you've only got room for 2 fuel.
Yes,
You need 4.
got those.
You can definitely use those. But what John was saying early on, I'm not sure you can move down.
Because you don't have space in your
Because you don't have
handouts to
space.
increase it. Can you spend it immediately?
Yeah, well,
or does
we'll get an answer. It doesn't apply right now, but I want to know the answer to that.
Ah,
So
question.
we'll let Edward answer that.
so can I do it now with these
Oh
cards?
no, you can do it with the cards.
Yes.
You can definitely do it with the cards. I remember reading that. What I don't remember, I think that is actually gain a resource. I think
Oh,
you
so
have
you
to have
drop
the
down there and you push
Okay,
up one.
no, Edward has confirmed the resource that you gain from here
Hmm.
can be a temporary. Thank you very
Okay.
much. So yeah, you could have done.
Fantastic.
Anyway, you're launching.
Okay.
So pop them on
off
T
we
minus
go.
5.
T minus 5.
So we take that, pop it over the ship, whichever one you want to
It's
use.
going to be this one.
Okay. Consultant goes back. Guests.
Yep.
Got room for them both?
Yep.
All good. T minus 4. It's another cube. It goes in there. T minus 3. So
Right,
3
right.
food.
So 3 minus 1.
Minus the 1 for the nutrition compactor.
3 oxygen
3 oxygen.
and
4 fuel.
4 fuel.
So
1, 2, 3, 4.
3, 4. Or yeah, you could have moved down to there for one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Gain the point bonus for that cockpit. So that is 3 points for each full set of different icons you've got. You've got 3 full sets.
I think I have, yeah.
9 points.
Okay.
And then you flip the cockpit over. T minus 1. Take the previously flipped upgrade tile and place it on the engine compartment.
That one.
Yep.
Put it there.
And then T minus 0. That person
Put it in
becomes a
here.
pilot. We get a new one of these. All purple and orange move down. And then 2 people got on. So 2 people come out. There you go.
So he's been reading the manual. He's fairly confident he knows how to fly.
That's your turn done.
That's my turn done.
You're about to get this, which will trigger another AGM on his next turn.
Oh, okay. Fine. So, this comes home.
Comes home. So he goes back to the break room, gets a funding bonus.
I'll take the 2 coins.
The guests go back to the supply, and the cruise tile goes to the bottom of the stack.
Cruise tile goes to the bottom of the stack. And it's there.
And then it's your turn.
And then it is my turn. So, I'm going to go here. Yeah. Am I going to go there? I feel like I shouldn't, but I feel like I need to all at the same time because I've only got the one of those. So I'm going to go there. So I'm going to do the bottom one first.
You're going to hire another expert?
So no,
Oh, no, sorry.
this
Here.
one.
Right.
So
So
I'm
you
gonna
spend 1
spend
money
one.
for 2 resources
1, 2,
and 1 money for 2 ads.
and 1 money for 2 ads. And then I'm going to do exactly the same again.
Same again. 1 money for 2 resources, 1 money for 2 ads. Yeah.
And 1 money for 2 ads.
Right. My go.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a day in space. So very similar to you two. I have 2 orange guests. There's 3 things for them to do. They go paintballing, then they go for cocktails, and then they go for a climbing. So each orange guest provides 1 reputation for each thing they have to do. So that's 6 rep. If your rep ever goes off the scale, never seen it done, but
Yep.
is likely to in this game because of that. You get a point for each one it goes above. Right, that's my day in space done. Where's my worker? It's here. So we're going to have to call a meeting. So I go here. So my funding bonus is now 2 points. So I'll have 2 points, and then I get to do an action, and well indeed. I mean, there's so many choices here now. Don't really want to do that, although that is free stuff. I do like free stuff. So let's do that action, and I'm going to take 2 food and an oxygen.
Put your dude over here as well, is it? Oh no, it's for the
It's the meeting. Yeah, that's my go. Pete,
Right.
you've arrived at a purple destination.
Right, the hippie planet.
So you have a choice to make. Do you want to drop off your token on the purple destination? If you don't, you'll drop it off on the orange one. So in order to help you make that decision, let's explain the last set of abilities that we haven't explained. This one. As soon as you place it here, you immediately get 1 funding bonus for each cube that you have on the progress tracks. And then from the rest of the game, every time you add a cube to the progress track, you get a funding bonus. Okay. This one, you immediately get the benefit of one of your upgrade tiles from your scaffolding thing and remove it from the game. So it's gone. And this one, from now on, you can have 4 shuttles, each of which is size 4. So, Pete, do you want to drop off that tile on a purple destination, or do you want to wait? Because if you drop it off on the purple one will become worth 4 points for you. But if you drop it off on the orange one's going to become 4 points for you. Now, at the moment, you're visiting a purple destination. The orange guests require 2 advertising each to get the benefit. So you could do that. You could improve this planet, spend 4 ads to get the 8 points, and then somehow get another 2 ads before you arrive here, and then you'll get 6 points.
Oh, so I need to get another 2 ads.
You need to get another 2 ads. If you don't have to spend the ads here, if you don't want to, you could just say, I'll tell you what, you can go to that destination, but we're not going to tell anybody.
So it's 2 ads per
orange
so
guest.
That's 4 ads.
It would be 4
That'd be
ads.
4 ads, but I would get
At the moment, 3 points. If you dropped off the token, it would be 4 points.
each.
Each, yeah.
Right, so that would be 8 points. Now, if I think I'm going to be able
Do
to
we need
get
to
another
refill
2,
We do. We need to refill a ship.
if I think I can get another 2 ads before there,
You probably can.
I probably can. Then it makes sense to do this, doesn't it?
It depends which ability you want. The other thing, you're not competing with anybody else for this, but if you were, if you drop off on the purple destination, you're going to get this at the end of your turn, which is going to trigger an AGM.
Right. Okay.
So timing could matter.
Okay. Yes. No, that
That's
gets
every time you launch, you can pack an extra person in.
Oh yes. And that gets me
Every time you gain reputation, you gain an extra 1 reputation.
right. That might be a good thing to do. Yes, let's do that one. I'm going to
Okay, so you're going to drop it off there.
drop it off there.
Right, now,
Pay.
you're going to pay the 4 ads.
I'll pay the 4
Again,
ads.
it is optional, but you do get 8 points. So 8 points per green.
Yep.
Right, that's your destination visited.
Okay.
Your turn.
Right.
Meeting.
Now I think I need to call an AGM.
Yeah.
So that comes back to here.
Yeah, funding bonus.
Yeah, funding bonus.
Which
Oh,
could be 2 resources.
could be 2 resources, couldn't it? And
And an action,
an
which is
action.
one of those 4.
All those 4. I like not those 4. I think I'm going to have to choose them, aren't I? Oh dear. I think I'm going to take 2 more segments.
Mhm.
And the ones that I need. 2, 3, 4. I think I need.
And if you're going to try and complete a 4th set, another teal one would be good. Because these cockpits are going to score end of the game as well.
Yeah. So I've got 1, 2, 3. At the moment, I've got 3 children.
3 teal, 3 family rooms, 3 leisure rooms and 3, and you got 4 adventure rooms actually.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. If I
5 if you get that. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. So I think I need some children.
That one or that one is good for you.
Yeah. I think that one, and possibly that one as well would get me 1, 2, 3. There's another one.
I'll put mine under there so you can put your extra ship on.
I need more children on, don't I? 1, 2, 3, 4. That make 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one with children on. They're both expensive.
Yeah.
Beanbag latch. That looks like tremendous fun. I want to do that. Okay. Yeah, that's I think that's me done.
You're
Isn't
all
it?
done. Adrian.
Or did I move my guy? I did that, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah.
No ships in space. So your turn. Meeting.
No.
Nope. Oh, you got them in your hand. So his
Oh,
notes
sorry,
don't work.
I've got that. We do the AGM, don't we?
Told you.
No,
No.
because that's not.
Oh no, we do. Yes. Let's go back.
Oh, okay.
End of your turn. Company goal.
Yes.
You have 2 different destinations, so that goes up, which means that goes up.
No, green one.
No.
That one goes up, and we do the AGM.
Yep.
So, Pete, you have 3 medals, 2 cubes, 6 points.
Yep.
Adrian, 2 cubes, 3 medals, 6 points. Me, 1 medal, effectively 2 cubes because I've got the highest reputation.
Yeah.
So 2 points. Right. So we did that. We did the company goal. We did the AGM. We're now in this. At this point, I am going to explain what happens when this fills up. So when this fills up, we finish that round. Then at the end of that round, we all take back our workers from the board. We get funding bonuses, but we don't get to do an action. So it's not calling a meeting.
Okay.
They just all come back. Then in the final turn of the game, we all get to do one thing.
Okay.
So we get to advance our ships as normal, but you essentially take your workers back off the board to allow you the freedom of choice because you can't normally bump yourself out. After we've done that, every ship that you have still in space may advance to any one of its future stops.
Okay.
And then the game ends.
Interesting.
So any other, which is what this is for, because other cubes can be added even after it's filled up. So now it's your go.
So, because I don't know how many turns we've got, I think this is probably the better one to go after.
Okay, so choose one of your upgrade tiles, get the benefit of it, and flip it.
I'm going to take the 4 there.
4 resources.
So 1, 2, 3. I'll get 1 free there. Do I want to do another oxygen? No.
Okay.
Go there.
And your second action?
Is it going to
be that?
Yep.
Okay, so who are you going to advertise?
So I'm going to go for the 2 orange.
This one and this one. So that's 3 advertising.
Yeah.
That one's going to get you 2 money and a rep.
Yeah.
That one gets you 2 money and a rep.
And every time I gain a rep, I get an extra
So
rep.
it's once per... So,
is it once per? Fine, cool.
Once per whatever. The rulebook's clear, I just can't remember the exact wording.
Cool.
So you gain the 4, you get the bonus 1.
Cool.
That's your 2 actions done.
Yes, it is.
My go. We have arrived at an orange destination. I am going to drop this off. I am going to drop it off here. So I immediately get to do this. I'm going to spend 2 money to build this development. And I'm going to put it... I'm going to put it here. And that's gone from the game. And then I have 2 orange people, so I spend 1 advertising for each and get 4 points for each. So I get 8 points. 3. Right, that's that done. And I'm going to take this one. I'm going to go here.
Ooh.
So have a funding bonus.
Just give me a second to decide.
Yeah, well, you can be deciding
feel free,
that.
Yeah, feel free
I'm
to
going
do
to spend 7 money. No, I'm not going to spend 7 money. I'm going to spend 5 money for that. And where do I keep getting caught out? There. So I'm going to put it there. That's 5 money. And then I am going to hire this expert worker for 2 money. He's going to go on there, getting me a funding bonus, which gets me 2 points. Right. Yellow should not have gotten 2 rep. Oh, sorry. Yellow should have gotten 2 rep and bonus 1, not 4 and bonus 1. Yes, sorry. For some reason I counted you 4 and then the bonus 1. Yeah, thank you. Did that.
I'm going to take one of these.
I think that's it. Yeah, I did my thing. I placed there. I did that and I did that. Have I got 1, 2, 3, 4? Yes, I've done it. Hey, I've done a company goal. Huzzah. And there was much rejoicing. How close am I to the others? Nowhere near. I'll try and get a second ship launched before the game ends, but yeah, whether I do or not, I don't know. Right, Pete, you've got a day in space. Again, we've got a great situation here because you've got orange guests who want things to do activity-wise. You've got 3 adventure activities for them, so that's 6 reputation.
But also, do I not get more reputation?
Which is 7 reputation. Yeah, every time you gain... Oh, and... Right, you ready?
Yeah.
You get a resource.
Yeah.
Well, let's do the things where you don't have to make a decision. You get 2 ads.
Yeah.
2 money.
Yeah.
And 3 resources. Nice. They combo quite well together.
Mm-hmm.
And again, every game is different because I've never played a game before with that in. And that's really changed things. Because normally people don't get this high. Right, that was your day in space. So now it's your turn.
Let's go here and have, oops, don't fall over when you're buying a ship. We'll have another ship. I think we'll have that one.
This one?
Yes, please.
So that will be 4 points at the end of the game for each different ship that's launched.
Yeah.
So straight away, that's going to mean you're not into negative points.
Yep, that goes there.
So the bonus on the engine is?
Oh, the bonus on the engine is an advert,
Resource.
a resource,
And 2 points.
2 points. And we flip that to show that we've done it.
Okay.
I think, is that?
No, you flip it when it's launched.
Oh, flip it.
Oh, sorry, you flip the engine, yes.
Yeah. Right, so I placed him there.
You did that.
I did that. And now I can... I've got 5 money. I can only afford 1. Oh, rats. I could drop back on the thingy chart to get more money.
The money symbol is
5.
here.
I need 2 more money.
You'd have to go back to here.
Ooh, do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? Oh dear, do I want to do that?
It actually doesn't make any difference to you.
Right.
Right. Oh no, you'd lose this.
Yeah.
It would be a 5-point loss at the
No,
moment.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, so your second action is?
My second action is these are end of game victory points.
They are
aren't
end of game victory points
Yeah,
if they are built.
if they're built. Right. Well, I just build 1
Okay.
at a cost of 5.
Yep.
I'll put that in there. I'm hoping that I'll get the chance to build another one, which costs me 1, 2, 3.
Don't forget, you could have built from here if you wanted to.
Oh, that's an interesting idea. That would have cost me 3. That would have cost me 4. That would have cost me 3.
Well, you only had 5.
I only had 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to stick.
Okay.
Stick with that.
Adrian.
Yeah,
Meeting or place a worker?
yeah, I think I'm going to place a worker. With this,
Yep.
I've got an orange and a green location.
At one destination, up to 3 guests, regardless of colour, may score without spending any advertising.
So I get to the orange location, I spend these and score, and then I get to the green location and can spend nothing but that card
Correct.
and score again. That's how that works?
Yep.
Fine. Let's get that going.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not ideal because I wanted to get another cog off of here. But I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to launch here. So
2 minus 5. So you pop it on the T minus 5.
yeah, T minus 5. Yeah. So
we
the first
take-
thing I do is
that,
take this,
pop it above the ship,
pop it above the ship.
put your cruise consultant back, put the guests on,
Yeah.
then T minus 4.
Is put a cube
Yep.
over there.
Put a cube in there. T minus 3.
I need to spend 2 of those,
2 oxygen because of that.
Two
Sorry, 2 food because of that.
3
3
oxygen,
oxygen.
and the 3 fuel because it's full fuel, but
3
I
fuel.
get a 3-1
Yeah.
there.
T minus 2.
T minus 2
So that's 3
is
points for every 2
2 pair,
developments.
which I only got.
You got 1.
I've only got
5. So
So
that's
6,
6 points.
which is the bit I was desperately. When you knocked me off, it was actually worse than.
Right.
And I was like, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. And then you flip the cockpit over.
And then I flipped the cockpit over.
T minus 1.
T
Take the
minus
previously
1
flipped
is.
upgrade tile and put it on the
Yeah.
engine. And then T minus 0. That worker becomes a pilot. We get a new one of these. It's teal and purple. So that moves down, that moves down, that moves down. And a teal and a purple come out. Right. And you're done.
I'm done.
So this guy arrives home. That goes to the bottom of the stack. Guests go back to the supply. He comes back and gets a funding bonus. I'll take 2 points. And then it's my turn. So I thought I had a flight scheduled. I clearly don't. Well. So, are we going to actually use my expert worker to do some
Bumping.
bumping? I think we might. Because if I am going to launch another flight, I haven't got one scheduled yet. And I kind of need to, and it doesn't want to be orange if I'm going to try and get that before you, but I'm not going to get that before you. You're totally getting that, which means I'm never going to be able to get that. Can I get that? 3 orange, got 1 purple. I would need 2 more teal and 2 more purple. It's not going to happen, is it? I'm really bad at this. Really, really bad at this. So where am I going to get my points from? Okay. Right. I think I need to do this. So I'm bumping out that worker.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you get a funding bonus.
I do.
And because of this, whenever
Yeah,
my
you get a
expert
funding
bumps somebody
bonus.
out, I get a funding bonus. I'll take 2 points.
I'm just going to take the 2.
And then I'm going to do the action. So I'm going to take that. Now then.
Now then.
I need... It's not going to happen, is it? Yeah, it's totally not going to happen. So if I'm not going to be able to do that, I just kind of want to take things that are going to get... And I've done that. Could do that. No, that's not very good. How much advertising we've got? None. I probably should be taking some advertising. Yeah, so let's take it might just have to be that one. And also really expensive. I'll just take that one. Right, so that was that. And now I can do, so I could do that. Yeah, let's do that. I spend 6 money. Let's put this. Oh no, that's interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. I'm going to put it there. And I'm going to play this. Trade Union. With the worker that you placed this turn, take a free action from an adjacent location as long as there are at least 2 development tokens connecting to you to it. You do not pay the other players. There's 2 tokens there. So I'm actually going to enable that action. I'm going to build both of these. They cost 1 less because of that. So I pay a total of 3, which is all of my money to build those into there. Nice. Okay. Done. Wow. Got no advertising, no money, no hope. Pete, you visit an orange destination, so you've no token to drop off.
Yep.
So it's just a case of, do you want to spend 2 advertising for 3 points each? You do, 6 points. Okay. They have a great time on the planet.
And I'm going to have to call a meeting. And
So you gain a funding bonus.
Funding, but that's good. But I'm completely out of money, which is very, very poor.
So only 1 funding bonus.
Yeah, sorry.
And now you get to do an action.
I need money.
But you don't place your worker. You're just doing
yes.
one of the actions.
Yes, I need money. I don't think I've got a way of getting it. I'd love to be able to place those, but I can't because I don't have money.
So the best way of getting money is refilling that.
And I'm not over there, so I can't do that action.
No. And you can't take another ship because you've already got 3.
Mm.
You can't build because you haven't got the money. So you could just take segments. So we need to replenish that.
And this one.
Well, I think the thing to do is going to be to take segments because...
So blueprints at the end of the game are worth 1/3 of a point.
Okay.
So
Have at it.
there is a reason for taking the 2 blueprints, even if you're never going to build them. Buddy has asked a very, very good question, and I'm gonna answer you, Buddy, because he's noticed. I said you can randomize these action tiles, but how can you when they're funny shape? Each one is 2-sided, so each one can go in either position, top or bottom. Yeah,
nice.
And I really wanted to randomize these action tiles today, but the designers told me nope. Use the introductory game because this is the one which is
makes sense
on TTS right now. But when you randomize these, the games are very different. You're all done.
Yeah, I'll take
So-
those 2, so...
You've arrived at an orange destination.
I have.
Do you want to drop off your token?
I can still drop off my people even if I don't drop off
You're
the
not
token,
dropping
right?
the. Yeah, it's 2 separate things.
Yeah. So remind me what these 3 are again. I know what these
The first one is
Yeah.
immediately
Yeah.
gain 1 funding bonus for each cube you have on here.
Oh, okay.
And then for the rest of the game, gain a funding bonus every time you put a cube on here.
Okay.
That is immediately gain the benefit of one of your upgrade tiles and remove it from the game.
All right. And then the last
And
one.
the third one, you can have 4
Yeah.
ships, size 4.
Oh. I think I'm going to remove. So put that one there.
So gain the benefit of one of your tiles and remove it from the game.
And I think I'm going to take this one off.
Okay, so you gain 1 resource.
I don't take it off, do I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Sorry, yeah.
Completely gone.
Cool. And gain its ability, was it?
Yeah, gain its ability and then remove it. So it's
Fine,
1
okay,
resource.
So 1 resource. So let's go there.
Right. And then for each of those orange guests, you can pay 1 ad to get 4 points.
So 8 points.
8 points if you do both. Right. And then it's your turn.
And then it's my turn, yeah. So I'm going to go here. And the first thing I'm going to do is pay 6 to put this cog out. And I'm going to put it, I think I'm going to just put it here, you know.
Mhm.
All things cost 1 when adding.
When advertising.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, nobody's had that yet.
Let's have that. And then I'm going to look to take 2, I think, of the things. So I'll take the top one, please. Social
This one?
media advert. And what's that bottom one? It's a lot of text from here.
Bulk transaction. So whenever you're doing this action,
Yeah.
instead of doing this, you can refill 1 in your personal supply to its max for free, or pay 1 money to refill 2 of them to the max.
Okay.
And resources are worth 1/3 of a point at the end of the game.
Yeah, go on then. Give us that one.
Your first action was that. Your second action was that.
Mhm.
Your go is done.
I'm done.
My go. We don't have anything in space. I want to go here, but can normal workers kick out experts? For some reason in my head, you can't, but I think you can. I don't know where I just made that rule up. I don't think that's a rule at all. Yeah,
think
they
you
can.
just don't
For
think
some
you'd
reason
get
in my
the
head, I
ball.
just thought they can't kick them out, but no, they can.
Would make sense.
But actually, I don't need to because I can go there and do
Yeah.
the action that I want to do. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll go here. I'm going to schedule now. Do I schedule that flight that I've already? Because I pre-sold these tickets.
Yeah.
Not that that matters, but actually they're the ones I want. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to gain this bonus, which is 4 ads because we're going to need them. So I went here. I did that. Now I'm going to do that. So how much food am I going to need? I'm going to need 3 minus 1, so I'm all right for that. I'm good. What? How much fuel? 5?
5.
Minus 1. Okay, so I'll take 3 fuel. I'm short the oxygen. 5. I mean, it's a good flight. It's a very good flight. They're going to be in space for ages. Yeah, I'm going to need loads of advertising. But anyway, that's it. That's my go done. I did my 2 actions. I am finished. I was being greedy and taking the points. Actually, I needed to be taking resources. Oh, I can get resources. And just drop down to there, in the hope that I gain. That's a big loss. That's a 7-point loss if I go beyond there. Oh, choices. Right, Pete. So
He
comes home.
back.
So he goes to the break room. You get a funding bonus, and these tiles go. And then it's your go. Take the fuel from the warehouse, says Matt.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I was going to say I did take the fuel from the warehouse. I forgot to remove it in all the excitement.
Should I have gone up?
You should have done.
Too.
Well spotted.
Sorry.
Because you've now done this company goal.
Yeah.
So there you go. 1 more cube, and that triggers the end of the game. Again, this is the short game.
Yeah.
If we didn't have the grey cubes, that's the full game.
Yeah.
But it's a good introduction. It just, for the slow starters like me, it means I've only just got going. I was focusing too much on a particular thing, and I should have gone for the launching the ships earlier.
I've kind of ground to a halt though because I've run out of money.
You run out of money.
So I can't get my.
You're doing really well,
I can't get my segments into the shuttle.
and you've not got the developments out, which is
No.
really hindering your options now.
Mhm.
It is. So suddenly my game has slowed down.
Yeah. I mean, there is a section in here on how to get money. Advertising for a cruise. So that is one thing you could do. You could just advertise for one of these cruises. That would get you money. Just sell the tickets.
Well,
It would get you reputation.
the question is, how long is it going to be before the game ends? Is it going to end this turn or next turn?
As soon as somebody launches.
Yeah. Well, let's go here.
Yeah.
Bump you out. Sorry.
So you get a funding bonus.
And then I will place my tour consultant onto the second one from the bottom, please.
Are you going to be launching again?
If I can.
Okay. Because this in itself
Green one.
won't get you anything. This one? Well, it will actually. You'll gain the bonus of one of your tiles and flip it over.
Put that back. Sorry. I will.
You could just see pre-sale tickets twice. I guess you loads of money. Oh, advertising. Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Well, wait. Actually,
Well, you could do that first. Get 4 ads, and then use the ads to pre-sell some tickets.
or I could drop down the track.
You could.
Right,
That's one ad there. Because you're going to get the rep back when you pre-sell the ticket.
Right. Okay. Let's do that. Yeah.
So first action is this.
Yep.
You drop down a rep to get an ad.
Get an ad.
Yeah.
Spend 2 ads to get 2 purple guys.
Either this one or this one.
Number 2.
So each one of these gets you 2 money and 1 rep.
They're the same, aren't they?
Almost.
Yeah. Just the flights are slightly different.
Flights are slightly different.
Yeah.
But so each one gets you 2 money because there's 2 destinations. So that's 4 money. Each one gets you 1 rep, but because of your bonus, you get 3 rep, which means you gain an ad, a money, and a resource.
Add money and a resource which I can't use, but I can't convert resources into money, can I?
No.
Okay.
That's your first action.
Now my second action could be, it depends if
You
I
could
think
do
I'm
that
going
again.
to launch. Do I think I'm going to launch? I can do that again.
You could do that again, but you'd have to lose 3 rep to get another ad. But you don't. No. I mean, you could. You're here. Using other people's developments is now free.
Yeah.
This technology is free.
Oh.
Ah.
And in fact, using any of these is now free.
That will be free as well.
Yeah, that's free. Everything's now free for you because of your high
The
reputation.
only thing that's stopping me from launching next turn is I'm missing 1 fuel, and I haven't got a. So there's 2 things I need
Which
to
you just do that. Get fuel.
get the fuel. Do that, but I've only got 1 segment. I need to have
Or
another.
use another ship.
I could fly a different ship.
Yeah.
Gosh. Okay. Can I put my cruise consultant on there then, please?
You go. So you activate one of your upgrade tiles and flip it over.
Not that one. This one. Let's have 4
4 ads.
ads. Yes.
Right.
1, 2.
Yeah, suddenly when you get to here, wow, everything becomes open.
Yeah.
Right. Adrian.
That's really scuppered my turn.
So your ship advances to
to
a
there.
family destination.
I'm then going to do the...
Do you want to advertise? Oh, you do this. You do
Yeah.
You do this family vacation. So at one destination, up to 3 guests, regardless of colour, may score without spending any advertising.
So that's 6 because I haven't got the plus thing.
You
here.
don't have a plus thing, so it's 6 points. Right. That's that done. Now it's
Yeah.
your turn.
Yeah, this is now the painful part. So I'm going to do this as well. Oh, no, you have to actually do that action, don't you? It's not a free thing.
If there's an action in the top right.
Yeah, it scuppered me slightly. I don't know what to do now. That's then going to require a call of meeting, but he's going to have already had a go before. Are these worth anything at the end of the game?
Every money, resource, advertising, agenda card, and
divided by
blueprint
3.
divided by 3.
Okay, let's get the prestige up because I need to get the prestige up. So I'm going to go here and bump.
Pete,
Pete.
you get a funding bonus and you get a funding bonus because that's
I do.
Special ability of the experts. And every time you gain... No, that's good.
So I'm going to go up 1, 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm then going to spend for the action, gain 2 of these.
So you're doing this action,
That action.
but you're playing social media adverts.
Yeah,
so
so
you
gain 2,
adverts.
and then you may advertise to 2 different cruises, still paying all the things, but I pay -1.
Wow. Okay, so 2 different cruises.
Yeah. So I'm going to do this one for 1.
So that costs you 1 ad
Yeah.
and gets you 4 money
Yeah.
and 2 rep,
Which is another 1 as well.
which is an extra rep.
Yeah. And then I can do a different cruise, can't I?
Yeah, really good. Limit once per action. So when you get rep again now, you're not going to get the +1.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get past that +8 point.
Yeah.
I'm then going to just sell to this one in the section. It says 2 different cruises, doesn't it? So I can keep going. So I'm just going to sell this one to here.
Yeah, which costs you 1 ad, which gets you 2 money and 1 rep.
Yeah. Do I want another rep? No, I don't think so. And then I'm just going to use the other action to do that.
Okay. Which gets you the bonus of one of your upgrade tiles, and then you flip it.
Bonus of one of my... Oh, yes, of course. These don't... I'm not going to get those, so they don't really matter anymore, do they? I am going to take an advert and flip it here.
So you could have done that before you did that, and then you would have had the other advert.
Oh, yeah.
If you wanted.
I need the adverts for being in space.
Yeah,
though, as
you
well.
do.
Oh, well, I'm going to recall. So if you don't mind,
I don't mind.
let's
No.
do that then. So I'll then put an orange one
There's
there.
another 2 money and another rep.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all right. Okay. Right. You're all done? My go.
I'm done.
So what was I doing? Oh, hold on. I was planning to launch, but we worked out I didn't have the oxygen and I don't have the card. And if I go down to there, I will leave. Oh, no, I'm okay. That's all right. That's still 15 points.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any workers. Right. So I'll be calling a meeting then. That's 3 funding bonuses and an action. Well, 1 funding bonus is going to be that. Because then I can launch. And then my other 2 funding bonuses will be points. And then my action is actually a choice of any of them now. Because I am spread out all over the place. So I don't know. I don't know which action I want to do. No idea. What action is actually going to get me any points? I can't do that. Can't do that. I don't have any money, so I can't do that. Which means I can't do that. I could take 2 segments for a tiny amount of points. I could take 2 cards, which is not going to do anything. I could get that and that, but that's not going to get me anything. That wouldn't get me anything. I don't know. I'm trying to see an action that would actually get me something. So it will probably just be a couple of blueprints. Yeah, I'll just take those 2. Okay. That is it. That is my go done. Pete.
Well, I think, although
Anything in
it's
space?
not
Nope.
ideal, I'm going to launch.
Yeah. So T -5. You take this.
Yeah.
Which ship you're going to launch?
This one.
Okay. Cruise consultant goes back. Got room for both of them?
Yeah.
Right, T minus 4.
Wanted to launch that one with extra things, but T minus 4.
Cube goes on here. Triggers the end of the game. T minus 3. You need 3 food.
I have
Minus 1.
2 food costs me. 3 oxygen.
3 oxygen. You need 4 fuel. Minus 1. So you need 3 fuel.
And I'll drop back
1,
spot.
2, and 3.
Yes.
That was T minus 3. T minus 2. Gain the benefit of the cockpit tile, which gets you 7 points because it's 1 point per segment.
Yeah.
You don't flip it. T minus 1.
Maybe I should have flown that one. Never mind. T minus 1. I
Move the
that
previously flipped upgrade
here?
tile.
Oh,
No,
there,
on the ship
yeah,
that you're flying.
yeah.
And then T minus 0. That becomes the pilot.
Okay.
So, little cruise. That one comes down. 2 people got on. So it's 2 families.
Is there anything I can do that's useful?
That is your turn.
Of course it
Launching is your turn.
Of course it is, yeah.
Right, okay, so what happened is this is filled,
Yes.
which means we've finished this round,
Yeah.
So you two have a go because
Yeah.
I was first.
and then everybody gets their workers back.
Yeah.
Then we all have one more go.
Does that including being able to launch?
Yeah. A turn as normal.
Fine.
And then everybody advances each of their shuttles to any future stop.
Okay, fine.
So you've got this turn, then you get your workers back, then you've got another full turn.
But then you get your workers back. What a pain in the arse. That's a missed time, isn't it?
Why? Why is getting your workers back bad?
Because I need to call my workers back now.
Oh, right. Blame Pete.
Yeah, I didn't notice. I was like, right, we get another turn.
I didn't think he was going to launch.
Then I thought it was another one of these, but yeah. Okay, fine. So I'm going to have a meeting.
Have you done your day in space?
Oh, I haven't done my day in space.
Yes, so day in space.
So they can do 2 of them, so that's 4 money?
2 of them, 2 things to do each. It's 4 of whatever they give, which is reputation. So look
perfect.
at this.
Which will be another one because I
1,
get another
2,
one on
3,
one turn.
4 off the top, so you gain a point.
Okay. Interesting.
Now, because I've never played with this tile before, the reputations have never been this high.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens if 2 people are tied. I think they both get it. I think it's friendly ties. So if 2 people are on the top, 2 or more people are on the top, I think they both get it. I seem to remember reading that in the rules.
So I'm going to take 1, 2, and then I think I'm going to just take another victory point for my other guy coming back. And then I'm going to do this one using this card. Instead of choosing from the listed options, you may refill. I'm going to spend the 1 so I can refill 2 all the way
Refill
to
2
the top.
things for free. Nice. Okay, right. My go. Well, I'm going to be a bit sneaky here. I'm going to go here as my action. I'm going to take 2 cards,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to play that card. And
Yeah,
instead
and
of
then
my
launch.
second action,
Yeah.
I launch. I basically gained a third of a point.
I kept looking at that card and
It
trying to
might-
work out how to make it work, and I
might
couldn't
be
quite. Yeah.
Right, so we're launching. This is where we're going. We're going to be going on this ship. That goes back. We've got these 2 guests. We have room for them. It's 2 families. I'm going to place a cube in here. I need 3 food minus 1. I need 3 oxygen, and I need 5 fuel minus 1. That's all of that. T minus 2, I gain 6 points. Flip the cockpit over. And then T minus 1, I'm going to put that on there. And then T minus 0, that becomes that. This goes here. Orange and teal move down. And we get a new orange and teal. Right. Pete. Oh yeah, so now
the games.
everybody gets their workers back from the board. I don't have any.
No.
You don't have any. You don't have any. But if we had, we would. We would get funding bonuses, but it's not calling a meeting. Now we all take 1 final turn as normal. So that advances to there. Do you want to drop off your thingy token?
I think I probably do.
Yeah.
Does it matter which
No.
of these it goes to?
Not at
Which
this
does it
stage. So now, advertising, it will cost you 2 ads for 10 points. Because each guest that visits this destination is worth 5 points.
Yeah.
So 10 points, 71. And then it's your final turn of the game.
I'm placing a guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I? Was there any get points anywhere?
So ideally, you want one more ad before the end of this turn, because then that will advance to here,
Right.
and you'll be able to advertise. You'll need 2 ads per. So if you can get yourself 1 ad somehow,
That'll get me an extra.
John says, I don't think there is a bonus cube in the last round. What does he mean by bonus cube?
For adding up the bonus cube for getting the highest point position there. Is that what he means?
No, there is.
Yeah.
It's there. It is there. Yeah.
So if I can place a cog,
A cog would get you 5 points.
that'll get me 5 points.
Which you
I've
can,
now
bonus
got
going
the
there.
money to do it. And if I can get a,
That's another 2/3 of a point.
but going there means that I can get the, but I can't because I can't pay for it.
Yeah.
So I can go there to place a cog, but then I can't get the. Oh yes, I can because it doesn't cost me
It
anything.
doesn't cost you anything because your reputation is so high.
Okay, let's do this then. So let's
Yeah.
place a cog.
So 5 money,
In fact, I could place it here.
you can place it there. It doesn't matter actually.
And then I can do this.
Yeah.
And I can just spend 1
money for 2 resources. Or 2 ads, whatever.
2
Doesn't-
ads.
Doesn't matter. Oh yeah, you need the ads, yeah.
2 ads is what I need
Yeah.
to do the thing with the
With the thing.
in the thing. And I think that's my go, isn't it?
Adrian.
Yeah, I can't get any ads now, which is the painful part. Shouldn't have flipped that. Should have taken that. Never mind. So this comes back.
Build these. I get that.
So this comes back, right?
That comes back. Those go. He gets a funding bonus.
Yeah, which is where because I should have.
Right.
I now can't do that, and I should have taken that.
And the cruise tile goes to the bottom of the stack.
Yeah. So my funding bonus might as well be a victory point.
Right.
There's no way of getting ads, is there, if I launch? Yeah.
If you launch,
Yeah.
you got none at all.
No, I totally picked the wrong thing. And I thought, okay, well, this will be here, and I'll get 2
Yeah.
ads, but it comes back first,
Yeah.
which is where I've totally...
Learning game.
Yeah. Grr. I still think launching is the best thing to do, though.
Well, I mean, you've got the cruise scheduled. You've got these. These are going to give you money. Each money is worth 1/3 of a point. So
And I'll get the victory points for launching,
you will.
won't I?
Yeah, 6 points for launching.
So I think that is probably still my best option.
Yeah.
Okay.
So have that.
Yep.
That goes back. Get those 2.
Oh, up here. Yep.
And you get a cube in here.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. T minus 3.
That's T minus 3. So it's going to cost me 1, 2,
2 food.
3, but 2.
3 oxygen. 3 fuel.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Okay. T minus 2. 6 points.
6 points.
You don't need to flip the cockpit over. T minus 1. That goes on there. And then that
And
becomes
then
a
that
pilot.
becomes the pilot.
Put that on there. Not that this matters, but they move down. And how many people got on? 2. 2 people got on. Right. So my last normal turn of the game is this is going to advance here. I am going to drop this token off. And I'm going to have it there. Why not? And then I will pay. No, I don't want to drop it off there. I want to wait. I need more ads. No, I will drop it off there. So I'll drop it off here. And it's family people at a relaxation destination, so I have to spend 4 ads to get 8 points. And the hope that on my turn I can get 2 ads. How's everybody else getting ads? It's not easy, is it?
No.
I think I might be able to. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's still the best move, I think. So yeah, I go. Oh, but I want to bump somebody out. I actually want to bump somebody out because then if I do, I get a funding bonus.
Yeah.
Oh dear. But the problem is, there's not that many workers on the board. Oh, right, okay. I don't have any workers on the board, so I can't call a meeting. When you launch, you can pay extra ads to move people straight. Yes, we did mention that, but it's never actually happened during the game. Everybody has always pre-sold their tickets. Yeah, so getting ads. Gaining the supplies actions, funding bonus, a day in space, spending reputation. That's how I get the ads. Okay, so we can do it. I go here. I get this, which is... well, before we do that, I'm going to go down to here to get the ad. So then I go back up. Then I gain an ad. Then I gain a money. And then I gain a resource. My first action, wipe them, there's none there. And then second action, I mean, they're a third of a point, so I'll just take 1 of each resource. It's effectively a point. Right, that's it. So now what happens is everybody can advance to any stop, whatever is the best for you.
Well, I think that's going to be the orange one. So I go to the orange planet.
You need 4 ads to get 6 points.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, Adrian, advance to any.
It's going to have to be, because I haven't got any ads, so it's going to have to be
So
the
day in
space one,
space, which gets you 6 money.
6 money.
And I'm going to move to here. And I spend 2 ads to get 6 points. Yeah. Where am I? Here. Right. And we are done. So final scoring. First of all, your money plus your resources plus your ads plus your agenda cards plus your blueprints divided by 3.
1. Plus resources. 6. 2.
I've got 8, so that's 2 points.
2 points for me.
2 points.
Got 20.
So 6 points.
So, yeah.
Right, next, we do this. So points equal to the number of medals showing multiplied by the number of cubes in this section.
Mm.
And if you're the highest reputation, which Adrian is, you've got an extra cube. So Pete, you've got 1 cube.
Yes.
And you've got 3 awards, so 3 points. Adrian, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cubes. And you've got
all 3 awards.
16 points.
Wow. Wow.
I've got 2 cubes. Why did I lose that reputation? 2 cubes, 2 awards, 4 points. Definitely not done well at that. Right, next. Points based on the reputation track. We all get 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 15, so 97 to 93, and I'm down here, 74. Right, next. Built segments. So the victory points for each segment that you've built.
$11.
13.
Right. Developments. So I've unlocked those 2 rows, so I get 15 points. You get 5.
I get 15.
15.
All of that.
Cockpits.
Yeah.
So Pete, we'll do yours first. So this cockpit is -5.
Yep.
But then it's 4 points for each different ship that's launched.
8 points.
You have 2 different ships that's launched, you get 8 points. This one, 3 points for each set. I believe you have 4 sets.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
12
4.
points. And this one is 1 point per segment, which is 7. So we have a score of 137. I need 1 more rep, which is very important. Why have I got 1 more rep? I need 1 more rep. People are telling me I've got 1 more rep. Okay, apparently I get 1 more rep. Was it because of that? It was because of that. We can fix that. 1 more rep effectively had me 1 extra cube, which was 2 more points. Okay, I saw it in the end. Thank you. I don't think it's going to make a difference, but I appreciate it.
Right. I've
Adrian.
got 6 for this one.
So 6 points. Where are you?
And then I've got 3 for each set, which is another
1,
9.
2, 3, 9. So
Yeah.
right. I'm not going to catch up. I've got 4 points for each shuttle that has, so that's 8, and that's another 6. So I get 14. 14. Way behind. But that's it. That's the final score. Pete wins with 137.
Yeah.
Adrian a close second with 134.
If I'd done that, I'd have had 4 more points.
Would you?
Yeah. Got it. But
Well,
never mind.
first
Learning game.
And I was clearly concentrating on the teach.
Yeah. It's because you're used to the long game and you were playing for the long game.
I was playing for the long game. Absolutely right. Yeah, definitely. So even, I mean, this is the 3rd time I've played the introductory game now, but that made a huge difference.
That was big.
That tile really made this different because I went for the orange ones first and I got up here really quickly. But then you two did as well.
It made getting that +1 easier as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are done. Now, because this was a sponsored video, we're not going to give you our opinions on this video. We all have opinions on this game. We'll be talking about this later on. In fact, I've already spoken about this in my last Q&A or monthly video log or something, but no opinions in this video. The objective of this video is to help you decide if it's the kind of game that you would be interested in backing. It goes live on Kickstarter on the 4th of March, but also there is a tabletop simulator mod for this game. So literally you could just watch this video and then head on over to Tabletop Simulator. I don't know if the mod is live or not, but it is this game. It is with the same technologies. It is with the exact same layout of the action tiles that we had before. So yeah, if you want to play the game with some friends, send your friends the link to this video. I assume that they will be making the rulebook available as well. The TTS mod is going to be live this week. Excellent. But that's it. Yeah, we are done. Now, just before you disappear, I did just want to do this. This is what the full game would be. They wouldn't let me do this. And for good reason. I understand why. But we're now just going to shuffle these tiles around and show you how much of a different game it will be. Which might not be apparent, but when you start playing it with these randomized tiles, you start to realise that it does actually make quite a big difference. So let's not have those two together because we had those two together before. But let's have that one there and let's have that one there. Let's have that one there. And the location of your developments as well becomes important because if you get two actions that work well together, like these two, then that's a good place.
Even like I had these two here, going here makes this action a single point again almost, doesn't it? Because I had these two early on.
You could go there and then those two
and get those two, and it would be efficient again.
Yeah, so the layout of those is different. As I mentioned, we've also got 4 additional technologies included in the game. So there is one that makes oxygen cheaper.
Yep.
There's one that's anytime you gain a funding bonus, you also gain 1 bonus adjacent to your reputation marker.
Interesting.
This is cool. I played with this one last time. During a day in space, your pilot becomes a guest. because there's a self-piloting system. So you turn on the autopilot and your pilot can go and start enjoying himself. And this is also a really interesting
Do
one.
we want the pilot going into the cocktail lounge?
When you advance your cruise, you may spend 2 fuel to advance 1 additional stop.
Ooh.
Okay.
So that will change the game as well.
Do you get the bonus of both
Yeah,
stops?
You get the benefit of both stops.
That does change the game.
Basically, you fly fast. So yeah, there you go. That is it. That is pretty much a full teach. The only real thing that you didn't see in this game is that whenever you launch a shuttle and you haven't pre-sold the tickets, you can do a last-minute sale. We did mention it at the start, but nobody did it. Nobody did it in this game because there is the benefit to pre-selling the tickets. But yeah, if you are playing this game, just to remind you, you do not need to have guests already have sold tickets to. You can just get them straight from the queue. You have to pay the advertising, but you don't get the benefits of what you would get if you pre-sold the tickets. Yeah, we're all done. Right, thank you very much to you for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to everybody for watching, and I hope you found this video useful. I hope it's helped you learn how to play the game, helped you play the game if you want to play it yourself, and help make a decision about whether it's the kind of game that you want to back. A big thank you, as always, to all of my Patreon supporters. Although this was a sponsored video, I do rely on the support of the Patreon to keep the channel going, so thank you very much. And if you want to become one of my supporters, you can do so at patreon.com/gaming rules. And I'm actually going to be creating a full how to play video for this game at the end of this year. So yeah, when the actual game comes out, there will be one of my fully scripted and edited how to play videos for the game. But that won't be out for quite a while. That'll wait till the game's out. Right, thanks again. We'll see you all later on.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.